Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's your host, Crypto Jack, coming to you live this Monday, January 25th, 2021. So it seems like last week's rout in the Bitcoin market appears to have been more of a matter of weak hands selling out because bidders just kept materializing all weekend long. Seems like all week long we see bidders just keep popping up right around 30K. Every time the price touches 30K, we seem to bounce right back up. So I guess the big market sell-off is canceled, everybody. And in the meantime, though, we did manage to pump almost $2,000 over the last few hours, but currently trapped under the $35,000 resistance. We'll see what comes of it next. Excuse me. To discuss all this some more today, we've got two analysts with us today. First, we've got Jason here. Jason, how you doing today? How's the weekend?
Fantastic weekend, to be honest with you. Like I said, on Friday, didn't really do too much trading over the weekend. Kind of wanted to let it fizzle itself out, figure it out. And as I said on Friday, like a lot of the times it returns right back to the price it was before the weekend. So like people who are trying to overtrade probably got a little worked this weekend, but we're still sitting in the hedge and profit, just waiting for Bitcoin to really make its move here.
All right. We got Alex with us too, but I think he had a little... Yep. Welcome.
I mean, yes, I am here, but also I spilled a bunch of milk all over my stove, and I'm cleaning that right now. So I'm here, but I'm muted.
See, people, we're only human. We spilled milk. We cry over spilled milk too.
Indeed. It was 24 ounces of milk. It's everywhere.
Yep.
He's really upset about it.
Sounds like a complete meltdown over there at house, Alex. So good luck, Mr. Pearson. Or is it Pierce? I could never remember. Either way.
No, you had it right. It's Pearson.
All right, Mr. Pearson. Good luck with the milky meltdown.
Make sure not to cry over spilled milk.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a quick dive into the crypto bubbles. See what's going on today. Seems like okay. Well, first off, maybe I should mention that Ethereum tapped new all-time highs. In fact, let's switch my chart to Ethereum here, guys.
Did you see Skoke Cat's comment?
Let's see what Skokie Cat said. Complete meltdown. Yes, complete meltdown, guys.
I like that.
Yeah, get your Cadbury up. This is the meltdown is in full effect. Let's see here though. Yeah, Ethereum blasted through all-time highs. I guess in the last 24 hours, this wick reached all the way up to...
I wouldn't say it blasted through it. It's hovering a little below previous all-time highs as it sits there.
It did. Maybe I overstated that a bit, but it's
when I think of a blast move, it's like 20% or so. Man,
yeah. I'm totally overselling it. I thought we reached a little higher.
I think you're perfectly selling
I thought we crested over 1,500, but in fact, no, we tapped around 1,475. So it still looks pretty good because.
Yeah, 1482.
Seems like a few days ago we did get this big pullback. Like heck, how low did we go? We tapped almost below 1,000 just about 3 or 4 days ago after the big sell-off from the previous all-time highs. And here we are right back. So in the end, this kind of looks like strength to me, but we'll see what comes of this next. I see a lot of bullish articles, a lot of talk on crypto Twitter. That Ethereum's setting up to go all the way, guys, this season. That I've seen a lot of articles talking about the institutional investors are here, and they're here for Ethereum now. So they came and they pumped our Bitcoin bags, and they now have their sights set on Ethereum. So Ethereum is getting all the love from the big investors out there. And I guess we'll see what comes next. Let's take a look at crypto bubbles real quick. I still got to turn some music on. I'll do that in a second. Bubbles. I see eGold up 32%. Damn, eGold is doing things. This is finally a project I should really look a little closer into because I swear this season I've seen eGold on bubbles on a regular basis.
Quite a bit. Yep.
We got Zen up a big 35%. Zen, of course, being Horizon. And shout out to anybody holding her.
Coins did have a big day. They're one of the only altcoin bundles that had a reasonable day. Everything else is just kind of like hovering there.
All right, privacy perp we will certainly look into in a bit. I see ICX up 15%, Ample about 12%, Ocean Protocol doing things today, also up about 15%. Seems largely a green day across the altcoins this morning. Of course, a couple losers curved down about 10%, and DDX, whatever the hell this is, Derivadow, pumped and dumped down 20%. So rest in peace, Derivadow. And I don't know if there's any leverage markets for that, but if you were 5x long, you just got smoked. All right. What else do we have in the news today? Before I go shouting out the audience, I see there's quite a few people in here already. It's always nice to see the regulars in here. But let's dive into the news real quick before I shout everyone out. All right, one of my first stories in the browser today. This one comes from Cointelegraph. More institutional adoption as Marathon Patent Group purchases 150 million in Bitcoin. You know, I love highlighting these types of stories. You know, when new institutional investors, the big funds come on board, I love to give them a shout out and highlight that. This is just the beginning of something magical, guys.
Just the early adopter phase, man. We're still in it.
Yeah, CEO Marek Okamoto said that crypto purchase would help make Marathon Group an appealing choice to investors seeking exposure to the new asset class. You know, this is going to be like a hot new trend in management, in these fund management, wealth management.
Yep, investments. Yep.
Yeah. Even if it is a bit of a fad, I don't doubt that it will be. It's still going to be a beautiful fad that will hopefully.
It's still going to be a beautiful fad.
It is. I mean, at this point, that's seemingly what it is, right? All these guys are going to be, especially if other markets start to tank. If we do have some other financial troubles ahead, this might be a great way for certain firms to diversify or just kind of stand out from the crowd, right? While everybody else is ducking and looking for shelter. Companies embracing crypto and this crazy new growth asset might very well be rewarded for it.
Thought. So if you're a CEO and your bonuses are tied to stock options, which most CEOs are these days, due to some laws passed in the 90s, a lot of CEO compensation is tied to stock options. You see what happened with MicroStrategy. They bought Bitcoin. Their stock price is up, and you have to be wondering to yourself, will it make my stock price go up if we buy Bitcoin? Because that would be a lot of money in my pocket if the stock price went up. Mm-hmm. So a lot of CEOs have to be looking at that and wondering, it's like, hey, we have X amount of money. How bad would it be to put a certain amount in Bitcoin reserves? If nothing else, it'll be worth it for the marketing, even if Bitcoin doesn't work out.
Yeah, it gives them a direct incentive to want to look at the space.
I think so.
Uh-huh. And that's usually the way to do it, too, because follow the money, people. Like, it's usually the greed that you can follow to usually track this type of stuff, and why wouldn't they look at doing this? So I think that you're going to see more and more stories like this of people investing into it.
Indeed. All right.
Especially funds. Yeah.
Let's segue. Well, let me see here if there's anything else of interest here. They purchased about 150 mil of Bitcoin. I wonder if it describes what their entry. Oh yeah, here it was 31,168 per coin. So MicroStrategy got in around 15 and then bought a bunch more at 20. These guys are getting in around 31. So if anybody feels awkward or bad for buying at these highs, don't. The big money apparently doesn't have any trouble dumping 150 mil worth into this. So
because they're not trading like you.
Yeah, if there's any
they're investing.
If there's any big asset managers out there who want to buy a bag of Bitcoin, if they want to spend about 150 million on a Bitcoin DM me. I will I will certainly hook you
also
up.
DM us if there's any CEOs out there that wants to buy any bags of BitConnect. I'll put you in touch with someone.
BitConnect!
All right, here we go. Let's dive into the next story on this list here. Before I shout out the audience, we've got this one, Bank of International Settlements plans platform for testing central bank digital currencies in cross-border payments. All right, so central bank digital currencies, a trend in the industry we've been following for quite some time now, and we seem to be drawing ever closer to it day by day. And here's a little something that certainly indicates this is the launch of this, maybe not so imminent, but it's certainly coming within this decade, because at this point, a new platform has been announced, part of the International Settlements Innovation Hub priority programs for 2021. So obviously, before they can launch these central bank digital currencies, they do need like a test bed. And so they're launching this new platform for testing wholesale central bank digital currencies, right? BIS said that the proof of concept platform will use multiple CBDCs to explore the feasibility of faster and cheaper cross-border payments. CBDCs were also listed one of 6 thematic priorities for the year, alongside Subtech and RegTech, Open Finance, Green Finance. What's up?
Can I point some out? That is such a weird thing to say. Explore the feasibility of cross-border payments. I mean, hello? Bitcoin's been around for 12 years, let me tell you. Cross-border payments are super fucking feasible. People do them all the time right now with cryptocurrency. So they don't need to explore feasibility. So are they exploring their ability to control the transactions? Like, it's a feasibility study. It doesn't even make any sense. It's like you can like plainly look and be like, okay, well, it's feasible. People do the thing.
The way I interpret this is that it's one thing to launch your own CBDC and kind of do a little test run of that internally, maybe in a domestic fashion. Maybe this to me sounds like they're elevating this to international settlement of these CBDCs. So it's like I said, it's one thing to release your own CBDC and test it. How about your CBDC now gets to play in a sandbox with a bunch of others? So certainly something that obviously needs to be tested and sorted out. I do like the idea, though. It's nice to see that they're moving forward technologically on this front. Of course, it's still very much a test bed, but as they say here, this work program shows our commitment to exploring the most practical ways how best to harness technological change for the benefit of central banks and create public goods to support global financial systems, said head of the BIS Innovation Hub. All right, well,
they didn't say it was for of the public. They said it was for the good of central banks.
Indeed, yes, I did notice the wording on that as well. So
they said it right there. They're like, we're doing this for us.
Really taking care of the common man here.
Yeah, but as it says here,
I believe you.
They aim to build collaboration around financial technology among the world's central banks. Yeah, so a lot of these central banks are going to want to probably maintain sovereignty over their currency, digital or otherwise, and so this gives them an opportunity to test it out and see how they all intermingle. So in the end, we're making steps here, guys. It's going to probably take a decade to build all this out, but rest assured, development is underway. I just hope that they find a way to I don't know,
catch up to the Chinese.
Well, that and well, actually I have that story next. Let's take a look at that one.
Very interesting. Okay.
In the same vein, let's revisit the Chinese digital yuan story. And so China to give away $4.5 million worth of their digital yuan as the country furthers their CBDC's trials. So on one hand, you got the Bank of International Settlements working with most of the Western central banks, starting up its test bed. Well, China is obviously kind of ahead of the game a bit, and here we go. This one, according to Crypto Potato, says residents of Chengdu province will receive $4.5 million in the form of a Chinese CBDC to spend as the country doubles down on its digital yuan trials. So China will launch another major test for its digital currency, the digital yuan, in January. Local reports affirm the Sichuan capital, Chengdu, will be the next hotspot for a consequent tryout of the nation's future virtual asset. Mobile payment network M-Pay-Pass, the capital of the Chinese province of Sichuan, will be the next area that will test the efficiency of Chinese digital yuan. Let's see here, following recent tryouts in Shenzhen and Suzhou, the country's central bank digital currency trial will start at the beginning of the year. During the initiative, government will supply citizens with 30 million digital yuan, worth about $4.5 million. All right, so I guess,
could listen to you say Chinese words all day.
I really need to brush up on my Mandarin. I try my best, guys, and who knows, our children will, for all we know, will be learning Chinese.
Knock it off,
Chinese
Jack.
one day. That's where all the development, all the innovation, all the growth and everything happens in the next century. China comes online as a superpower.
Is China that innovative? As far as I can tell, they mostly depend on stealing technologies from other countries.
They do now, but then they're gonna take the football and they're gonna run it all the way to the end zone of technological development by the end of the century. So I, for one, embrace my Chinese overlords. YouTube, if you're hearing me, I'm on board with the game plan. I will be a reliable.
Just send me some white papers.
Yes, and if you can, send me some of this $4.6 million test fund. I will test the currency over here, and I'll see if your digital wand's working. And for that matter, Bank of International Settlements, if you want to send me some of your digital euros or digital USD or whatever, yeah, send me that over. I'll also test that out. So I'm a willing test subject over here.
He'll test them all.
You heard it here first, corporations. Jack is for sale.
Jack is in.
Guys, after being shadow banned and bent over 6 different ways by the fintech overlords,
you can't beat them. Join them, huh?
yeah, I am official. My body,
Throw it in the towel.
my body is open.
Jack.
You guys can do with me as you please. Just spare me, you know, when the calling comes. All right. Let's see here. One final story before I go shout the audience out, and that's I want to highlight this one. Of course, it's definitely alt season when you hear that Chainlink pumps to new all-time highs. Anybody watching Chainlink over the weekend? In fact, let me pull up Chainlink.
Everyone is talking about
DOT,
Link.
there's EOS, there's Ethereum, there's Link. All right, how do I go back one?
Anybody who bought Link below $15 is bragging about it. I mean, literally, I've heard people bragging about it. Like, I bought at $8 and I bought at $11. Nobody else was buying. I was like, okay, I get it, buddy. You made some money.
Yeah, right.
Yep, Link Army in full effect.
And that's about the time that some things usually happen where people get smoked because there's too many people talking about how happy they are.
So Chainlink is back, guys. Remember just a few weeks ago we were talking about how everything seems to be pumping and Chainlink just not
no exception with Link.
No longer like the mega winner, you know, not at the top of everybody's minds. Did the Chainlink fad kind of go away? You know, all these coins have their heyday, and eventually new ones like DOT and THETA and whatever else show up to kind of steal the thunder. Well, Chainlink appears to be back. Bullish, pump to almost $26 over the last 24 hours. So Chainlink at all-time highs, guys. If you got a Link bag, shout out to anybody in the audience.
Shout out to all the Link Marines.
This one's for you, boys. Let's see here. Man, what market is this that Kraken? So Link on Kraken wicked down all the way to $7 barely a month ago, December 23rd. We had a wick on Link all the way down.
Yeah, that's Kraken. Kraken is
$7.
so illiquid.
It is.
I remember there was a USDT pairing of Link on Binance that like crashed down to like almost like a penny or something. There's a whole story on that one guy who had a resting order. Do you remember that? It wicked all the way down there, and he woke up with like $9 million worth of Link because it wicked all the way down, picked up his order.
No, I don't recall that, but that would be pretty epic. Apparently that wick appeared...
That was months ago.
That wick also occurred on BTMX, so maybe it wasn't anomaly exclusive to
Kraken.
So, well, respect and shoutouts to anybody who picked up Link at even just a month ago at $11 or so when we had the big pullback. So... Link's looking good, guys. Chainlink all-time high, January 25th. Put this down in your calendars. Link apparently in a bullish impulse wave. All right, and Link BTC is supposedly breaking out as well, which you'd expect.
Well, you would assume.
You'd assume that'd be the case indeed, seeing that Bitcoin kind of going sideways. So yeah, Bitcoin sideways, holding 30K, and the alt cycle in full effect. Guys, we're in the middle of a massive bull market if that's the case. Okay, Bitcoin holding 30K support. And the alts
30K is the new 10.
Alts like Ethereum, if you want to consider. I know every time I call Ethereum an alt, people kind of get testy with me. But between the Ethereums and the Links of the world and everything else, are we not in the bull market, guys? Tell me. You tell me. Guys,
are you not entertained?
Exactly. That's
Everyone's
precisely how I feel about this. All right, guys.
Are you not entertained?
That's it for the news stories for today. Let me quickly hop into the live chat and shout out who's in here today. S. Hyatt was here first this morning. S. Hyatt said first for once. Yes, shout out to Mr. Hyatt. Nice to see you here first. Ron Legato, was who's usually first, was in here just a few seconds after. First in the chat, but not first to hit the like. All right. Jose Alves, who's a channel supporter, saying, yo, what's up, Cracking Crypto? Yes, nice to see you, Mr. Jose. Crypto Bull's in here, who does our timestamp. Shout out to Crypto Bull. Sup, y'all? Happy Monday.
Been doing a killer job, man.
Yep, he's been on the ball. Mr. Ether Robert Warner is in here saying sup. We got Grant Parsons in here, ANCAP Futures, Stun Gun, Peckham 08, ANCAP Futures, Tyler Dukacek, somebody call Corn Pop. This market's about to look like some bad dudes. Any kind of Corn Pop references, get a thumbs up in my book. Shout out to Tyler Dukacek. Corn Pop's Revenge. Peckham 08, who bought AMC at $3. This guy. Alright, so shout outs to Peckham, who bought
we did look at that last week, AMC, the movie theater company.
yeah, apparently did things, so we're gonna take a look at those charts in a bit. Mr. Ucorn, another channel supporter, saying hello folks. We got Gabriel in here, Mac W, Dark Rico. Shout outs to Dark Rico, by the way, he's doing good work in the community. Jezza Coin, Jonathan W, asking, someone tell me why I'm still trading Stellar.
Because you're still trading it.
Ripple gets traded on like half a platform now, and it's outperforming. Yeah, I guess Ripple's outperforming Stellar. Go figure. MacW, are we going to have to pay taxes on gains we have not made yet? That might be a question for your crypto accountant.
No, that's never going to happen. It's a pipe dream. It doesn't even make any sense, you know? How can you tax unrealized gains? Everybody knows it's not real money until you sell it.
Yeah, until it's not realized.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's never going to happen. They might find another awful way of taxing us, but unrealized capital gains tax just doesn't make any sense. It's never
Yeah, speaking of taxing unrealized gains, there was a story that floated around here in Canada this week talking about how the government wants to start taxing home equity. So it's not enough that you tax, you pay your regular property taxes.
Yeah,
they want to start. They still want to start taxing you on your equity. But there was a massive pushback across the board saying,
you'd assume so.
No, the economy's kind of in trouble right now with given the whole situation, and let's not do that right now. But the fact that if in good times this would have been acceptable, right? I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about this home equity pumping, especially because our real estate market's just gone through the roof. Most people's wealth is locked up in their home.
Yeah, I would agree.
Have you ever seen home prices around here, guys? You'd freak.
I just found out that you can't buy alcohol where he lives past 8 o'clock, which is insane.
Well, I guess they don't want people wandering out into the snow and dying while drunk.
There you go.
That's the reason.
We figured it out, guys. All right, let's keep moving along here. Jonah loved the show. Another channel supporter, also one of our super fans. So Jonah loved the show, saying hello, peeps.
Super fan.
Indeed. Lily Drift 76. Can you say if there's a difference between going 1x short versus taking profits in USD Euro taxation wise? Good question. We maybe not be the most.
In the U.S., there is no difference. And in other countries, I don't know. You'll have to ask an accountant.
Yeah, probably a good question for an accountant. But let's keep going. Complete Milkdown in the chat. Yes, we covered that. Who else do we got in here? Spin B, another channel supporter. Nice to see Mr. Spin B. Stun Gun. Der Student, John Bachelor is in here. Debaser Acer is in here. I hope there's cheese on the moon. Yes, I heard the moon is made mostly of cheese.
Would you eat the moon if it was made of spare ribs?
It has a crusty, rocky exterior with a heart made of cheese. So inner core of cheese, guys. Der Student Alex, can you do your Fib Magic to show targets for price discovery? Yeah, that's a cool idea. We'll certainly do that when we get into the Ethereum section.
Yep.
Alex, remember when we mapped out the Bitcoin breakout using the Fib tool, or you did, I guess, on Bitcoin's big breakout?
I vaguely recall something.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Nature.
I thought that was a really cool exercise. So who knows? We're going to do that this time, and we'll see where we take profits. I say Ethereum to 2,800, boys. Let's do it. Let's shout out the last few and get on with the show.
Sure.
We've got Polly B in here.
Keep going up.
We've got Ganson in here saying FOMO. Tammy VIP in here. Hey everyone, there'll be a link review today. Yeah, of course, we're definitely going to look at link today. Did you FOMO the top and you want us to tell you what to do next? Certainly something we can do. Daniel, good afternoon guys. Daniel, another channel supporter. Bird is in here. Across Canada is in here. And
interestingly enough, we're super high on the greed index right now. Well, not super high, but 75.
Anja
Be
Trimchevich.
higher if it was 69.
Mr. Trimchevich is in
Nice.
here asking for Zen USD. We'll look at that. Jurgen, Rodney Lauer, and many more. I don't doubt. No, I shut it everybody. Tenacious V. That's it. Okay, guys. There's going to come a day in the show where we're going to have so many viewers, so much of an audience that I'm not even going to be able to shout everybody out without it taking 20 minutes. So consider yourselves as part of the OG crew as we build up and take the whole YouTube crypto world by storm. Assuming YouTube does not sandbag us permanently. All right. Covered everything here on this front, and I think it's time. Alex, how are you doing? Are you done on the
I have cleaned up the vast majority of the milk, and I ate my breakfast burritos, so I'm no longer hangry, so we should be good.
All right, brilliant. One last thing I'm going to mention, and that is the UFC fight night we had live stream in the premium over the weekend. That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of people show up to watch UFC in the group on somebody. No. Yep. So it was a lot of fun, and I have to say, big thank you to everyone who contributed for the cost of the UFC pay-per-view. So thank you so much to everybody, Mr. Ether, and probably a few more among the people did leave a little money to cover the cost of the stream. I appreciate it so much, guys, and it was a lot of fun hanging out with you. And I apologize for Jason if he did come off as annoying after downing the Mickey of whiskey all to himself.
Hey now.
Not to put you on the spot, but
Hey now, he's more annoying drunk than he is when he's sober.
Right? It's there's not really that big of a difference, man.
Unfortunately, as you might remember, I tried to pick up a couple beers and it didn't go my way. They shut me down before I was
After
able to
8
check
o'clock.
out. Yeah, I know. I should have got my beer earlier.
You're like a toddler. No, it's your bedtime. You go home.
I should have got maybe something in the fridge earlier, but I did not. So unfortunately, it was everybody else was having fun, drinking, and talking UFC smack. And I was left hanging, so it was a sober weekend for me. But shout outs to everybody who had fun, including the birthdays. I think it was Jason's birthday last week. I think somebody else had a birthday. But yeah, shout outs to everybody. That's it for now, though. I've said my piece. Let's get into the charts. I'm sure this is what everybody's here for. One final reminder, and that'll be that I am going to be taking note of everyone's requests. If you're new to the channel, just leave your request in there. Rest assured, it might take an hour, but we will certainly get to your requests. All right, guys, I'm going to stroll up now. I'm going to start making notes of any questions and requests that came in to date, and put your requests in. Our analysts will certainly look at them. Time to move into Alex's stream.
That 12-hour chart certainly tells a better story, doesn't it?
I think so. I think the 12-hour chart right now basically does a great job of telling the story of how I see the current Bitcoin price action. Okay, so right here we have a descending triangle, which is a bearish formation. As you can see, sellers push down against a strong level of buyers. Buyers just can't hold it. Boom, we break underneath it here. And then we come back up over the weekend. And now we are retesting support as resistance from below, wicking hard up into this area. We've got the 12-hour baseline above us.
Nice baseline bounce.
Yep. On lower time frames, as you can see, we're just hanging out at that resistance and support level right now. This is mildly bearish looking, but we can come back up into this area a few times, maybe even come up and retest this. So this is the area that I had said that I would be looking for a short down to the 27 area on Friday. I said this was not the area. We were most likely going to come back up, retest this from below. This is where we are. If you haven't hedged up on Bitcoin, I think this could still be a good location too. Let me put this back on 12-hour. Let me explain why. And that is because right now we're hanging out just at the point of control. If I'm wrong about being bearish here and you sell here and then we break up out of here, we're definitely going to come down and retest this before continuing onwards, this point of control area right now. Maybe even just on lower time frames. Like we'll break up here and then we'll wick down real quick and then continue onwards. But you'll have a chance to get back in at this level if you got out here and then we broke up. But, you know, if you're going to have a hard time of it if we start to break back down here, you're gonna wonder where to exit. So that's why I like this spot and this is still just below. I think you scored the hedge over here, didn't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
35 or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. 35. Currently sitting at 35,342 is my entry.
35.3. So right around this area right here. So this is still I think the good area to be hedged up in. And then if I'm wrong, hey, you'll be able to sneak back in without the loss of much more than the transaction fees. So that's how Bitcoin looks here to me. There's really nothing new to look at on the weekly. We know last week was down. There's really nothing going on for us on the 3-day. We're not curled up or anything yet. We're still underneath resistance right here. So nothing to do on Bitcoin, I think, at this time, except I'm looking for that short. But it's not a PTP short per se, because we still need our oscillator to cross back under here for us. So that could take a couple days before we get that. Interestingly, Bitcoin dominance has finally found some support in this spot. Now, this spot, if we look back longer term, is historical support and has been in the past. So support here, found a little bit of support, resistance here, support here, and support here again, all right along roughly 63% Bitcoin dominance percentage. So this is our first sign of a reversal since we hit 70 and then just got slapped down on the weekly. You see that over here. Boom, this is our weekly candle, just slap, and then boom, 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 3 down weeks. But here we are now at support and the weekly baseline. I think we could see a reversal here on Bitcoin dominance, even just a temporary one. Now, what does that mean for alt season? I'm not really sure. It probably means that alt season is on hold, like for now. What this could mean is that Bitcoin ends up taking off again from here. I'm wrong about Bitcoin's bearishness, and everybody's so shocked they leave the alts and they get back into Bitcoin. That's a possibility. Another possibility of what this could mean is the entire market dumps, but Bitcoin dumps less hard than the alts do, which is not unheard of. I mean, let's face it, if you had to hold a super volatile alt that could lose like 80% of its value, or Bitcoin, which from here, it'll probably lose like 30-50% max. Certainly not going to lose an 80%. You'd rather be in Bitcoin, right? You'd rather be in Bitcoin than the alts. So, and honestly, you'd rather be in cash than either, but if you had to choose between only the two. So I think those are the two interesting possibilities. For right now, this reversal is brand new, and it's something we're keeping our eyes on. The true edge of the downtrend is all the way out here, so we could still wander up for a few days before continuing. But considering that we've had several weeks of down already, a couple weeks of up would be totally normal, right? Price goes down, price goes up. Price goes down, price goes up. So it's something that I think is would behoove us to keep our eyes on. I think the 3-day is probably the most interesting here. If we curled up on that, then that would be something else.
And mostly all of this was included in that market analysis that you put out before the show, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So if you guys I mean, because you don't have to come to the stream here just to get this. Like Alex does write this stuff up for the group beforehand. So if you like that kind of analysis day, like over the week and stuff like that, we do that often throughout the week. So it's just a little plug for the premium members. They get this information just a little bit ahead of time.
Yes, and be sure to like and subscribe if you do enjoy this kind of video. So, I think what's really interesting here is that the Dixie is having an up day, which, as we know, normally means the rest of the markets are down. Bitcoin kind of bucked the trend today. It's up 5%. It's up against the alts. That's what Bitcoin dominance being up means, is Bitcoin is up against the alts. But Bitcoin still looks rather bearish to me in the spot that it's in underneath that support turned resistance. This is better shown, I think, in the traditionals right now. QQQ trading downwards, still above support in this level. Oh, very interesting. So this has recovered even in the last couple of hours. Still potentially a little bearish in this spot, but yeah. As long as we can hold these levels, that's good. Earlier today, we were back below the daily baseline on SPY. I'm telling you guys, if we are so strong, why are we hesitating below these lines? Mm-hmm. Like, why aren't stocks just taking off, right? It's the Roaring 20s. It's a new administration.
Yeah.
It's,
fighting for life.
Yeah, it's trading sideways for weeks at a time. Let's look at this on the weekly here. So this is closed. This is closed. This is a new week. This doesn't mean anything. We can easily break down here over the course of the week. I ask you, where's the strength? Remember this week? Remember how bullishly postured we were this week? And then where's the follow through? There isn't any. We broke down. So I am suggesting perhaps that Bitcoin is leading the traditional markets in its breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not necessarily suggesting that this means that Bitcoin has it's going to see its shadow and then there's 15 more weeks of crypto winter or whatever, but I don't. It is suggestive. If the broader markets tank, then I don't expect institutions to be like, oh, but let me keep all my risk on Bitcoin, but not,
right.
Big blue chip stocks. But that being said, the markets have recovered a little bit since earlier this morning when I was looking at it. And this is a rather bullish cross on the weekly if we can get it next week. This has still got to close up here. But that's not bad looking for the QQQ. We have to hold these levels, guys. We really have to hold these levels.
It's important to remember there's still a lot of time in that candle, so
yeah,
it's Monday for God's sakes.
But if we can close the week up in these levels, maintaining these supports, then I'll probably have to withdraw some of my bearishness in this spot. That would be nice if ultimately the market just held here for a few weeks, then continued onwards, and meanwhile Bitcoin finished its pullback and then continued with the alts. That would be really profitable. It's not necessarily what I'm seeing right this second, but that'd be pretty sweet. Ethereum also wears the strength, right? It's been stronger than Bitcoin. It has been. But it really can't seem to make it over this resistance, can it?
Pretty. Getting sold into pretty quickly there.
Yeah. Look at this 12-hour rejection candle right here. So I suggest to you that Ethereum could still sweep down towards the $900 range. It could still happen, especially if Bitcoin does the thing that I say it's going to do, which is break down from here and come back down towards 27, maybe 23. And so Ethereum can stay stronger than Bitcoin, which it was last week. Remember, we've been saying that Ethereum is going to be a stronger hold than Bitcoin. And look, over the last few weeks, just look at that. Just steady march. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. We could get a pullback on Ethereum Bitcoin this week, which would still be bullish for Ethereum Bitcoin, but would help us meet that 900 target that I'm talking about. And look at the weekly, by the way, right here. We still are looking bearish right here. We could easily cross under this week right here. So that being said, the week that did close, it's kind of hard to argue with this candle right here. I'm getting just slightly conflicting signals on higher time frames. I'm just hoping it's not wishful thinking on the part of Ethereum. No, it's not wishful thinking, because if I wanted to, I could get back into the long that I dropped over here at an even lower price right here. If I could, it'd be like $17 lower. But I could. If I thought this was so bullish, I'd be like, that's it, guys. I was wrong. Let's go in on Ethereum. But I just don't see it. And right now we're in the no trade zone anyway. You know, maybe if we close the week, maybe if we close today even back up here, back above this level, then that's pretty bullish. But if we close below like 1375 at all today, I would consider it a rejection. What do you think?
Especially in situations like this where you're starting to see it go sideways and then you're coming up on your baseline the way it is, like usually when you see that rejection candle, it just goes sideways for a little bit longer, then suddenly you're under it, and then all of a sudden it drops out from under you. So
yeah, this could just keep going sideways up here.
Yeah,
right.
and then the baseline would eventually get above it, and then people would just be waiting for the break up, and then you probably get the breakdown. So yeah, I do believe that looking at this, there's probably a good chance that we're starting to fizzle out on the momentum for Ethereum here.
Quick reminder to Alex, there is this request from their student regarding Ethereum. Alex, can you do your Fib Magic to show us targets for Ethereum in price discovery? So whenever you're comfortable getting into that. Just a little
okay, but I gotta tell you, we're probably at those targets right now because we can't make even new targets without another swing high, and we don't have a new swing high yet. So the target's going to be based off of all the way back here. But here, we'll take a look at it. Probably the best way to do it is from here to here. It's based on the weekly right here. Well, we blew through all these weekly targets, so nothing doing here. Let's try... what's a better way to do this, maybe? Damn it. Here. That's the wrong tool. All right. Let me get a cleaner chart. I can't even see anything on this chart right now. Okay. Let's try here. Here to here. Sorry, man. Everything our fib targets are saying is we are at the resistances. Maybe there's one more resistance level above us, the 4.236. That's at 1651. But, I mean, this is even saying, like, today we hit the resistance level right here. We came up and we tapped today.
Right off the bat.
So, and look at this. One of the support levels is the bottom of that range I'm talking about. So just a swing down, a retest of this previous fib resistance level as support before continuation. I think it's doable. $900 to $800 range.
Yeah, and I think that would coincide with a lot of things that we're seeing, especially with the Dixie, especially with greed starting to get so high. People are starting to think that, oh, I'm going to miss out. And that's usually when they get dumped on.
Yes, I think everybody is desperate not to get missed out. Not to
miss out on the market.
They have literal FOMO. People are afraid of missing out right now. Mm-hmm. I know we often, I think sometimes the meaning of that gets lost in the abbreviation.
Yeah,
FOMO. Oh, I'm totally going to FOMO in.
But it turns into a verb.
Yeah, but people are genuinely afraid. They are going to miss out, that they are going to see it take off without them and feel and feel the negative feelings that come with watching, something that you believed in and you didn't necessarily buy right away because you were waiting and it takes off without you, and you're like, oh, why did I wait? DOT, I think, is something for all of us. Yeah.
Then you buy, and then it gets sold into, and then you cry, and then you sell it, and then it goes back up, and then you cry again.
Yes. So I would suggest that Ethereum does not, like I said, it does not necessarily look bad here. If we finish the day up in this spot, it could be good. We almost have a PTP long signal here. We're above the daily baseline. Our oscillator's above zero and pointed up here. And WADA's firing. We've got the momentum. We've got volatility. But my feelings, I know, which are very nebulous things. My feeling is that this is not super bullish in this spot.
You're more towards a swing failure.
I am more towards swing failure.
I'm with you on that.
I want to see a bullish close on Ethereum. And if Ethereum is so bullish like everybody thinks, it'll give me the bullish close, right? It'll just be bought up super hard right here. We'll close back above this area. We'll close above like 1375, 1400, somewhere up in this area. And I won't be able to argue. It'll be like, well, the system says it's time for an Ethereum long, like I took over here. We nailed it. We got out. We'll do it again if we have to, but I am still feeling trepidation. I'm still feeling just a touch bearish.
Mm-hmm.
I got another request that came in here related to Ethereum. Maybe you'd want to cover that real quick before we continue.
What's that?
This one comes from Peckham08. Ethereum monthly chart on the USDT, please.
Sure.
And then we'll move into the request, guys, including this one from Jonathan insisting we do Stellar next.
So it'll be a new monthly high if we close above 1,000 this month. So we'll see what happens. My thoughts are that this is not going to really tell us much about what we need to do for the next couple of weeks. So we'll check on it again, maybe after February starts. But yeah, most likely it'll be pretty bullish looking. Is there anything that you wanted me to see in particular?
Not that I saw in particular, just a request to look at the monthly.
He wants you to be blown away and tell him to buy it all right now.
Well, you asked the wrong guy because Alex is perma bear, so let's keep. Let's
I wouldn't say
rolling.
that.
I know. I'm just playing, but Alex does have a bit of a bearish bias.
It's important to play devil's advocate in these situations because you need to envision every possibility. It's not like things just go up, and it would make a lot more sense, like statistically, if we were to wick down here before we made higher highs.
Yeah, if you want someone who's relentlessly optimistic, you guys can go watch Ivan on Tech. You respect the pump over there.
Exactly.
You respect the pump.
But today, guys, I am disrespecting the pump. I'm not. I don't believe it.
He's disrespecting the pump. He's spitting in the pump's face.
Hilarious. Well, that's why I probably like Alex and what we do here. It's because we're cold and sober in our approach. There's no moon boy fervor in here. We're just cold and calculating. We'll get to the moon eventually, but we're not going to do it sipping on too much hopium. So I like Alex for that very reason.
I'm coldly and calculatingly telling you to ignore the indicators that my feelings are telling you that we're bearish.
All right.
He's not just sure. He's HIV positive.
Yeah. All right, guys. Alex, do you want to continue with your analysis, or do you want to take the next request?
I will say on lower time frames, this is good. This dip into liquidity right here, if we recover and then start to make new highs, then it is on for Ethereum. Okay, guys? What I'm saying is that this is it's a very critical spot we're in. And it's often when something appears to make a new high, and then it's just a fake out and breaks down. Like, these are critical moments where you cannot allow yourself to get suckered in just because it, kind of is. It's vaguely bullish right here, but you know what's bullish? A 20 It's a giant 20% candle in one direction, and just big green candle. Like, that's bullish. This is, this is cool. This is nice. We crossed back above the baseline. I'm happy. Let's just wait and see. Let's wait and see, guys. We're gonna wait and see.
Most of this game is sitting on your hands, waiting for your moments, people. You're not going to get rich in one trade, so you should never treat it that way. Letting FOMO affect your decisions is going to be a bad decision every time.
Totally agree. Let's look over alts real quick. A lot of these look similar. Alt perp at resistance. I'm not interested in it unless I'm not interested in major alts unless we break this resistance. You'd think we'd be a little stronger, and we're approaching it on decreasing volume. Look at that. Tick, 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 tick. Drop.
Did you just look at it?
Just like a roller coaster. Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me every single time. Click, 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 and that's usually when. And the funny thing about it is, you usually see ATR and volatility slow down the same way as like when you're getting to the top. It's like pretty constant, and then it gets like click, 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 and then rush, and you go just way down.
Same story here with mid perp, and we're crawling underneath this baseline. We cannot make it above it here. I think mid caps are also a little bearish looking. Until we break this high, I'm not interested. We'll just keep trading sideways here until we break down. Shit perp, a little stronger. The volume looks nicer. We're still under this resistance. I'm not interested until we break these resistances. Exchange perp. What did I say, exchange perp? I said no. Not unless we break those resistances, exchange perp. And we're underneath the daily baseline. No.
Bad exchange perp.
Yes. So, we need more confirmation from alts, guys, before we just go balls to the walls with our positions right here. I'm just not sold. I'm not sold. Privacy perp was the strong one today. But we are at resistance. We are still below the daily baseline. I don't know. But I will say that this one is the most likely to have follow through and break that resistance that we're looking at here, just because we're just crossing up right now in this oscillator. Time will tell. But we'll look at Zen and Zek and stuff and see if that'll give us an idea if privacy coins in general are about to take off. I have no reservations.
Yeah, I know Zen's having a good day.
Yeah. The only alt baskets that are doing well, they're doing well. Fine, they're doing well. Are DeFi perp, which did make a new high. See, strong, did make a new high here. I'm not happy that we're crossing under right here, but look, if we can hold this support, like maybe we close the day down, and then another day kind of wick down, and then we continue onwards. That could happen right here. So the DeFi coins are something to keep an eye on. It's not like mid perp and alt perp. We're actually showing strength here on DeFi perp. We did make the new high here, so that is very enticing. I guess it would probably be the best way to look at it. I'm enticed. I'm like, ooh, DeFi perp. I want to go look at DeFi coins in a minute. The other one, Uniswap perp, which also crept up to make a new high, and right now it's kind of getting slapped back down. But we'll see how it ends the day. Maybe it'll just wick down and close the day back up. Maybe Uniswap coins are similarly bullishly postured in the way that the DeFi coins are. Okay.
Similarly.
Yes. Similarly.
Okay.
Yes. So I think that's a pretty succinct look at it. Basically, if it's not DeFi and Uniswap right now, they're probably not as bullish as you think they are, or at least not comparatively so. Mm-hmm. And overall, alts are giving me pause because of this Bitcoin dominance reversal that we're getting here while we're at resistance on all these different alt perps, right? This is telling us like maybe alts have been bullish for a couple months. maybe like a quick 2 or 3 week pullback, retest previous support as resistance, something like this. Just plop down onto that.
Yep.
And then continue onwards, right? See, I have these arrows I drew several weeks back that they have not been followed yet, but we will see. Just kind of something like this.
Yeah, I'm completely with you on it because I personally kind of thought it would happen over the weekend. But we also talked about the current buyback that we're getting right now, that it might happen before we get that sell-off. So
Yeah,
it's still well within the cards. So
it's going to be so crazy. We're going to briefly go back in time for continuing hours.
there you go.
It's crazy volatility, guys. Watch out for it.
Volatility that transcends time.
Yes. Anyway, so I think that really covers it for the markets broadly speaking right now. But maybe we'll look at forex and commodities a little later today. But why don't we take a brief break and look at chart requests and talk to members.
All right, let's do it. I just wanted to point out, Bird in the live chat says, my system says the same about Ethereum. Whole market is so greedy, expecting 2,000 within the next month and stuff. This is a big red flag. Yeah, people are insanely bullish on Ethereum right now. Is that a red flag? It could very well be.
You can usually feel it in the market sentiment, man. When everyone's talking about how things are only going to go higher and all this stuff, that's usually a sign that sentiment is going to shift soon, because it won't just keep people happy.
Or maybe you're both wrong and we're going to $10,000 Ethereum
we could.
month. All
but
right,
guess what? We actually think about that stuff too, because I would exit my hedge and we would be fine. We would ride that thing. Like,
yeah, hey guys, I was totally wrong being bearish about Bitcoin at 12K. I paid the price for it, and I gotta tell you, that lesson, I'm approaching this probably less strongly now than I would have then. Like, I do still feel very bearish on the markets, but I'm trying to give you as balanced a look as I can, because most of it is just feelings.
Yeah.
But there are certain things like us hanging out at resistance on low volume. It's like, that's bad juju. Until we break a high, I'm not interested. Yeah.
And that's why we look at all these different aspects of it. It's not just one thing that makes us bearish. It's a bunch of things over the course of, plus market greed, plus we're coming to resistance, plus there's just a lot of things that are adding up that would make it likely that we're probably about to have a bearish move.
All right, let's get into a few requests, please. Peckham08 does say, if Falcon Swap hits $3, I'm buying you guys dinner. All right, well, I'm going to hold you to that,
I'm
Peckham.
glad you brought up Falcon Swap. Tell you what, buddy, let's talk about Uniswap coins being at resistance. ChartX just added weekly and 3-week timeframes. Let's look at Falcon Swap on the weekly time frame. I have it up. I don't know, man. That doesn't look super strong to me. This looks like we're wicking up into resistance here. We've broken down from the trend. We're crossing under on the Fisher weekly. It'll depend on how we close this week. But when you look at it from this angle, I don't think it looks super bullish. Look right here. So we break the trend. We wick back up and retest it, but we're rejected. I don't see it on Falcon Swap. Let's run through a few other alts here. There are some that still look good, but there's plenty that they look like they want to pull back here. This is relatively strong. AKRO. This is interesting. Arch. Man, do you think this wants to pull back right here?
Certainly looks like it.
This one might have potential. I'd try and grab it on a pullback here. This looks strong.
For the Badger. It's for the Badger.
Badger. Yep.
It's for the Badger.
Ooh, where'd this one go? Actually, perp could still be strong here. Anyway, let's not go too far into the weeds on this, but my point is, I think that there are still some Uniswap coins that look good, but there are plenty that are sitting at resistance. And if you guys are super interested, I can look at your Uniswap coin of choice, and we can see if it's one of the ones that's at resistance. But I mean, if you have to ask, chances are it's probably at resistance.
Yeah, we'll certainly look at them as they come along, but in the meantime, let's start knocking out a few of the requests currently queued up on our request list. If you're just joining us now for the stream, be sure to drop your chart request in the live chat. We will get to it soon enough. Everybody else, if you already dropped a request, hang tight. We'll get to it shortly. Let's get this rolling. This one comes from Jonathan. Oh wait, hold on. Did this one already? This one comes from Jonathan W. Is XLM going to break out of the daily triangle that's been forming since the 4th of January? I'm going to get stopped out of XLM soon. I'm getting wrecked. All right, so Jonathan W.
Is this the guy who keeps asking me about XLM and I keep telling him to get out?
Jonathan, is that you? It could very well be. He is a regular in the live chat.
Buddy, get out.
Stop.
You're still underneath the daily. The last time I was asked about this, we were below the daily baseline. We are still below the daily baseline on XLM. I still think you should not be long on XLM in this spot. It feels really bearish here. I still feel like we're going to come down and retest like 18 to 20 cents. And if you are damn it. and if you are getting wrecked, I imagine that is only likely to continue.
Yeah. Don't let your emotions get in the way of a trade. Cut your losses and find the next one.
Yeah, I just don't see anything bullish on it. I mean, do I know for sure it's not going to break up? No, I don't know for sure, but I do not see any signs that it's bullish. So
yeah.
That's really all I got to say on XLM. But yeah, man, just I'm very sorry. Take your lumps, learn a valuable lesson, and move on. That's what you got to do in the market.
And honestly, I've come to the realization a while ago that every time I've done that, like in the past, if I held on to something, now that I don't do that, I've found that I make up for those losses so much faster just by cutting it and not worrying about it than I do trying to ride it out.
Well, what if you had just dumped your XLM over here and be like, it's not doing anything. I'm just going to buy some Link for right now. Or you've done anything else with it.
There's always opportunity cost to holding, man.
Yeah, I did that with 1 inch, and I immediately got out.
I called the 1 inch move on stream with you guys. Like, I think that the 4 hour looked real good, and 1 inch doing something.
I bought that 1 inch on the weekend where it dropped, and I didn't get the airdrop, but I was hoping that it would break out over the weekend. It didn't, so rather than holding it, which I might have been more inclined to do in the past, I got out, immediately got into another position, which has treated me very well ever since. So
is that polls?
Yeah, polls still doing okay, so I'm not complaining about getting out of one and into the other. All right, so we covered Stellar. I think we've said enough about Stellar. Let's see what Jonathan said. He said yes. I'm assuming that means yes. He's the dude who's constantly requesting XLM.
Well, I listen. It happens to the best of us, man. You know, if you feel trapped in your position, you're gonna feel way more trapped at 18 and 20 cents because that's way lower than this price right here. I
don't think there's anyone in this space who's done this for a while who doesn't know that feeling.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know. We're not going to break up, and you could dump it here, and then we can end up breaking up, and maybe you'll hate me forever. But I got to tell you, there's just nothing here to tell you to stay in. And if it broke up here, all you did was get lucky. And it's certainly not a skillful maneuver on your part to hang out in this very weak and wilty looking asset.
What's he mean by look at the daily triangle, though? I guess you've kind of already got it plotted out there.
I presume, I can only presume he means something along the lines of this
falling wedge or something.
But I see it more like Bitcoin, where we're trapped under it like this.
Yeah. Swing failure, go sideways till it fails.
So support, we break under, we retest it as resistance. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 days. We just can't break this resistance level. Boom. Down to support. And certainly, while we're below the daily baseline, I couldn't recommend you long in any way. So let's move on.
All right,
luck, buddy.
Jonathan, best of luck with your stellar. I just wish you took our analyst advice 2 or 3 weeks ago. Probably would stayed out of trouble. But with that said, we all have to live and learn.
You got to take your licks in this space because you'll never understand how important discipline and having your own edge is until it finally clicks in your mind. Because at this point now, Alex is right. If you stay in this just on the hopes that it goes up, and it does, you're like, yes, I got lucky. But following those types of actions is going to statistically get you burned if you continue following them. So at this point, you don't have the edge anymore. So you need to exit and go find your edge.
All right, well said. Let's get into the next request. Before I do that, just going to highlight a couple comments. Peckham08, who did offer to buy us dinner, says if YFL gets to $9,000, I'm flying over for drinks.
He's buying a jet.
Has 35% daily swings. All right, well, YFL apparently a volatile one. Let's get into Super Relax. A channel supporter says
his favorite member
just showed up. Yes, just showed up. In the live chat saying, sup peeps, happy Monday. I arrived a little late, but nice to see you, super relaxed. Blockchain Gains is in here. Smash the like button, he says. And he finally got his OG YouTube account back, saying good day. All right, so Blockchain Gains, I think
nice.
You guys
Congratulations.
you guys remember Blockchain Gains. Looks like you recovered
Sure, you're dealing with the overlords as well.
Crypto Bull reminds Jonathan W. Don't think of it as a loss, but a lesson learned, hopefully, indeed. And all right,
we do call it paying your tuition in trading.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just the money you pay, it's like, okay, I pay my tuition. I just learned a valuable lesson. Won't do that thing again.
Try to remember the lesson, guys. That's all. Okay, let's get into the next request. I'm going to save this AMC one for a little later. Let's stick to alts for now. This next one comes from Stun Gun in the live chat. ARC USD showing some strength. No? Question mark.
Didn't we look on this on Friday? I seem to recall ARC coming up, and I don't see it, man. I mean, it has been strong. It gained like, I don't know, 30% against Bitcoin over the last few weeks. But I mean, think of all the alts that are doing like 200 to 300% up against Bitcoin right now. And this is actually a really low sat alt. Why isn't it doing any better? I like that we broke out of the downtrend here. I don't like that we're crossed under on the daily. I can't really recommend a position here. And ARC USDT. I mean, it's vaguely bullish. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it.
He doesn't like it.
It looks so-so, guys.
Yeah.
But if anybody in the audience wants to throw Stun Gun a bone, pump his ARC bags for him, now's your chance.
I know you're listening out there, Warren.
What's next?
Alright, getting into the next request. Shoutouts to Stun Gun, thank you for that one. Alright, next one is a 2-pack from Boris Bitcoin. Any thoughts on Theta and the ICX on the daily? So let's look at Theta and then Icon.
Theta.
I haven't looked at Theta recently.
Whoo.
This is nice looking.
That's
if we get, you know what? I feel like we're gonna get follow through because we have 3 weeks of wicks down in this area.
This is just a different chart than we're seeing out of everything else. That looks strong. You're getting a clear break of trend now on the lower time frames. Theta does look strong here.
Yeah, I do like it. We don't have a long signal yet. We need to get back above the daily baseline before we'll get there. I'll say I think Theta is really promising here. See, so this is what we want. If you're holding Bitcoin, or you know what, this actually reminds me a little bit of Stellar. This is kind of what you're wanting Stellar to do in that spot. So Stellar is kind of rejecting from this, whereas Theta is broken up out of that descending triangle. What's the Bitcoin pairing look like? That's a long signal. Yep, we're above zero. Got it. This is a daily long signal. I think theta looks pretty good, man. I think theta looks pretty good.
Definitely an outlier in the market right now.
What's next?
ICX.
That's right. Oh, that's pretty strong looking.
Yep, 2 good looking charts so far.
I don't like that we're at resistance right now. I have this marked out as a resistance and support level, and I mean, now it's where we are. So that is not something I'm super happy about.
Weekly seems to be rejecting as well.
Well,
Nice.
it's a brand new weekly candle anyway.
Yeah, but just nice confluence of that resistance level already, so it's definitely one to watch.
I don't know. This is kind of a nice continuation long signal, right? So
Is it the weekly? What is that?
this is the daily.
The daily. Oh, then that's a full signal today.
Yeah, this is a nice continuation long signal. So we break resistance right here, which is a good sign. We're crossing up while we're above zero. This is a great sign. Wada tar, we got momentum firing. Our volatility is good. As you can see, we've got a rising explosion level in the yellow. So this looks good to me too.
All right, icon looking legit.
Yep.
Shoutouts to Boris Bitcoin. Thank you for that request. The regular Boris Bitcoin. All right. Let's get into the next request. I can see this one about Texas gold from Ron Legato. I'll get to that a little later. I'm going to push that up. That's a request about Texas and the gold deposits, but we'll take a look at that in a bit. All right, next one is for Link. We had quite a few people requesting Link in the live chat, including EDL George. He says he got Link at $1.8. Excellent. He sold at 18 from profit, bought more at 9. I will sell few at 28. And Tamil R7 VIP. Hello everyone. Will there be a Link review today? Yep, it's coming up right now.
I suggest to you that the Link Bitcoin pairing is currently at resistance. So this is a long time resistance support level. We watched this for many, many weeks. You guys will remember. Mm-hmm. So I feel very comfortable in this right here. So we broke down, very strong recovery over the last couple weeks, but we have hit our head on this resistance level. I think it's perfectly natural. I like to have a bit of a pullback in this spot against Bitcoin, which is sad because we just made a new all-time high on Link. But we really need the follow-through. We need follow-through here. And this daily is not great.
It's beginning to curl down.
Yeah, why did we just have a daily indecision doji right after we made a new all-time high?
Because of indecision?
Yes. This is very reversally. We don't have a signal yet. This is something to keep our eyes on. But it gives me pause because of the way the other alts look as well. And yes, Link has been strong, but we just looked at Link Bitcoin, and Link Bitcoin is at resistance. So if Link Bitcoin pulls back against Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's price is dropping, then we could see like a pretty big pullback on Link USDT.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little speculative. Right now, I would say that there's nothing to do on Link USDT. We're kind of waiting for there's a chance that you decided to sneak into a continuation long here. Could have taken it here, in which case you'd be slightly underwater. As a matter of fact, I put up some longs yesterday. I put up DUSK, and OGN, and I think we're slightly underwater on all of these. Let's take a look at that. Yep, we're down today. So, continuation long signal yesterday. Boom, right in the face. We did. We made a new high just by a little bit right here yesterday. Boom. Today we broke back below it. That's not great. OGN. Yeah. This is basically hovering at the exact same price we took it. So there's nothing doing here. I thought this looked really amazing, right? Look at this. We shall see, guys. Market's giving me pause. We need more bullishness. We just need it.
All right.
I just imagined you with lion paws, like leaves me with pause.
Yes.
All right. Stand by and stand down on the what was that? Theta, ICX, and I guess just a general sentiment on some of those alts Alex described. But let's.
Theta,
I think that these alts look really good, but we have to hold these levels, and a lot of it's going to depend on Bitcoin and the broader markets. You know, a lot of these things can't survive purely on their own. They're part of a broader market.
All right, let's get into the next request. Here we go. This one comes from Mr. Trimchevich in the live chat. Zen USDT looks pretty extended on the weekly. I was looking for a pullback last night right under the baseline, but this morning it skyrocketed. Please, your TA on Zen. All right, so Zen doing things overnight.
So privacy coins.
Wow.
Well, Zen's just a continuation signal right here. I would say it's a strong continuation signal, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the Bitcoin pair. We got more data there. I think Zen is just kind of gone. Yeah. Let's see. Where's our resistance here? Support, resistance. Okay, I like this right here. We could see just a little bit of follow through here as we move up into this area. But I think Zen is just kind of might have missed the opportunity. I would wait to see if we can get any kind of pullback towards the point of control over here at 8,000 sats. Or is that 80,000 sats? Let's look at the other privacy coins real quick. No follow through on ZEC. No real follow through on XMR. And I gotta say, this is pretty bearish looking on XMR right here.
Yeah, that ain't looking too hot.
So you can see we break below the weekly trend right here last week. Now we're below the weekly baseline too. Just kind of gonna retest resistance at this point. Zen looks good. Zen could have a little bit of follow through. It gives me pause that it is at an area of resistance in a place that the other privacy coins aren't looking as good. Like I said, these markets don't exist in a vacuum. That being said, if you have Zen, I would just hold on to it right now. There's no sell signal yet. I wouldn't necessarily buy the level that it's at.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
All right, Horizon is in the bag. Let's keep moving along here. Got in the live chat. All right. Few new requests. I'll log those shortly. Let's move into the next request. This is a 3-pack from Josh Batchelor in the live chat. My requests would be OMG, Raven, and Neo.
Oh my God, they're raving about it.
Oh, you poor bastard. Raven coin, really? Okay.
He might have finally got. It might have actually done something because all it's been doing is going down for the past year.
Yeah. OMG, really ugly here. Look at this weekly. We're trapped under this resistance level right here.
Pretty good rejection right there.
Yeah. I'm so not interested in OMG right here.
That looks a lot like XLM.
It's similar. It's definitely trapped under the level in the same way. I see what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
But XLM is on the daily. This is the weekly.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So he's saying that the XLM. So this is that's OMG USDT. This is XLM on the daily.
There it is. Those look very similar.
Anyway, OMG definitely OUT out.
Oh my God, get out of there. Raven. That's so Raven. Not quite.
Nope. I just don't see anything appealing about Raven USDT here.
And you're pretty high above the baseline.
Yeah. Bitcoin pairing is...
Liquid
you mean
debt.
besides nothing but down against Bitcoin, i.e. why don't you just buy Bitcoin and save
Right.
yourself the grief? But fine, let's zoom in a little bit. And there's still nothing for us to do here. We're crossed under right now on time transformation on the daily. Pretty far extended above the baseline. Nothing for us to do here. Just stay out, man. Just stay out. What's the other one you had?
It was
Raven
and Neo. That's right, Neo.
Neo is one that does not... Well, it's the same thing. Here we are, trapped back under resistance. So we try and make a new high here. Break down. Now we're trapped back under the previous resistance, that previous high's resistance. I am not interested in Neo right here. And also PTP would not have us in here. It's telling us to be out. We're in the no trade zone. Neo Bitcoin. It's crossed under, man. Just say no. Just say no. What's next?
You need to get out of here, Neo.
Yes. You have to get out of Neo.
Passing on most of those. Let's move into the next one. Shouts to Josh Batchelor posting those requests. Alright, next one is alright, we have Uniswap token being requested by Silt and Rodney Lauer. Rodney Lauer says, will Uni be one of the biggest DeFi players in the near future? Really tempted to go in. Yeah, Uni's doing big things. I checked my Uni bag today. It looks like it's popping off pretty solid.
Yeah.
How would we go in on that?
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You and I are in this.
No,
together.
that's it. Just if someone's looking for an entry like Robert Lauer or Rodney Lauer, how would we go about that, if at all?
I think Unicoin is very reminiscent of the Uniswap perp, where it did make a new high, and then today we're retesting down. This is it's hard for me because this is, I suppose, this is a continuation long that we could take right here, or rather, we probably should have taken it. No, it would have been yesterday. Yeah, so we'll probably be able to take it today at a slightly better price.
Part of me wants it to come down and tap that shelf.
Yeah, but
Doesn't mean it's necessary.
I guess for right now, I remain bullish on Uni. There's just nothing bearish here.
I like
Or
that
DeFi perp. DeFi perp is the one it reminds me of. Uni and DeFi perp. There we go.
There you go. Those are almost identical, yeah.
Yeah, these charts remind me of one another greatly. So I think that Uni is going to suffer whatever fate DeFi coins as a whole suffer here. If DeFi coins continue going, then I think Uni is a great option. It's clearly doing a lot stronger than several of the other DeFi coins. I mean, off the top of my head, it's stronger than KNC. It's stronger than YFI. It's stronger than... it's not as strong as AAVE, but I think it is stronger than Sushi. It is very strong, but we need to... I mean, if the entire market reverses, then it doesn't matter that it's been strong. So it's really just all the other things I pointed out being bearish that's giving me pause about Uni. But Uni itself is good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if that concludes the uni analysis, Silt also requested Polkadot, and that would also be the J
We did
Glover.
dot, didn't we?
Did we do dot? I don't think we did.
Interestingly, Uniswap Bitcoin is at resistance. So we could end up seeing a pullback on Uni here, but remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the request? I apologize.
It was Polkadot.
Yeah, yes.
Polkadot is next.
I stand by my statement on Friday. We need to make and hold a new high. We need to make and hold a new high. And it was pretty bullishly postured here by Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not holding it.
Yeah, now we're seeing a crossover. You're starting to see diminishing volume, momentum. All of these things are bearish signs.
Yep, we'll be crossing under the 12-hour baseline at the end of today. We'll be crossed under on the 12-hour baseline. It looks bearish to me.
Yep.
I would want to take it down towards 10, 11 bucks.
All right, because Bird in the live chat just asked, do you think DOT is going to raid above $20? And I guess the answer to that is no.
I think eventually, yeah.
I mean, could it raid above $20? It could raid up there. I really don't know for sure. I am not in charge of people who do raids. I'm not in tune enough on lower time frames to be like, oh yeah, and here's where there's going to be a swing failure pattern. It looks down. Maybe it'll swing up before it goes down, but it looks like it's going to go down. Whatever happens.
Technicals are pointing to down.
All right. Well, that's Polkadot for now, guys. Let's move into the next request. We still got a handful of requests to do. Let's get into them now. We have.
Keep scaring me when you cut out like that, Jack.
Sorry about that, guys. But so far, so good. Knock on wood. No issues with the stream for now.
Who's there?
Hands
Me?
up. Hands up. It's the feds. All right. Jose Alves. Can we take a look at KAVA and Ant USD? Let's take a look at KAVA Labs.
We heard that someone mentioned vaccinations at the inauguration a few days ago on stream. We're here to arrest you.
I'm here to kill you.
Doing everything in my power to avoid getting shadow banned or sandbagged by YouTube, so I avoid those keywords. I know some, but I think it was Meister saying I'm being a little too autistic about my avoiding certain topics and stuff, and he's like, oh, other channels talk about this stuff all the time. Guys, I am on like DEF CON, is it 1 or 5? Either way, I'm on one of the highest alerts
5
for self-censoring on here, guys. We unlike other channels, we've collected a few strikes, a few other things, and
for no reason. They don't even let us know.
I think Justin had a way of he didn't give any, he kind of spoke passionately from the heart. I think we touched a few YouTube nerves in the algorithm. So at this point, guys, please don't be mad at me, but I avoid certain topics like the plague. I know we just, we don't care around
Not
here.
the plague
he literally avoids the topic of the plague.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yes, precisely. Precisely. That and political and other topics, guys. Maybe if we ever move this stream to another platform, we'll be more free to speak our minds. But in the meantime, guys, as long as I'm running the show, I'm going to be very, very particular on
I'm with you.
how we broach certain topics. All right. Sorry, Alex, didn't mean to derail you. KAVA, go take
No
it
problem.
away.
What were we looking at?
KAVA Labs.
KAVA. We are at resistance. We're at resistance. So I think I expect us to kind of sweep back down towards support here. Overall, I think things look relatively bullish for KAVA in the midterm. We could even head back towards $4. But before we do that, we might need to retest like $2 or so. Come back down here and retest this on the weekly. Here we go. So you see support resistance, 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 question mark. Seems kind of likely, considering everything else in the market's at resistance too. So that is what I suggest to you. And Bitcoin pairing is at resistance. Let's see.
Perfectly at
Support,
resistance.
support, resistance. Look at that. Anyway, it's bullish that, you know, we broke out of this downtrend, but it's totally normal to come back down and retest. So we shall see, guys. We shall see, but I'm not super interested in it at this time.
All right, the other half of that request was Ant USD, ANT. What is Ant USD? Aragon. That's right.
I just don't see it. I'm literally yawning over here.
You feel that strongly about Ant, huh?
Yeah. It feels like we're just back below resistance here. So we got resistance here. Fake out, breakdown, retest, still below it. Nothing for us to do here. We don't have the momentum. We're not above zero. I would say just leave Ant alone for now.
Where the deer and the antelope play.
Yeah.
All right, Ant slowly rocking us to sleep in the live chat. Let's move into the next one, guys. We got quite a few to still look at. All right, AMC. I promise we will look at AMC a little later, but let's stick to alts. All right, Falcon swap we did for Peckham 08 already, so we'll hold you to that dinner if we hit $3 in the Falcon swap. Let's look into the next one. We did DOT already, so that one's off the list. So this next one would be an odd one, and it's from Boris Bitcoin. BitMax token. Looks like something I want to short. BitMax.
BitMax?
Max, yeah, BitMax. They have their own coin? Because I think that's an exchange.
No, it's BitMax. MAX.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I said. But yes, it's Max.
Yeah, they
MAX.
have an exchange token.
They have the, yep,
Well, it looks
BTMX.
pretty shortable in this spot. I think I see what you see. Certainly feels like it's at resistance in this spot, doesn't it? Well, we're below the daily baseline. Watt is starting to come in. Sellers are starting to come in. See, it's rising right here. Yeah, I think it looks pretty shortable. I would try and see if you can snag a retest of this point of control right in this spot right here, right around 6 cents, 6.5 cents or so. See, we kind of come down here. I can see us retesting there once or twice before we actually break down. Otherwise, I think I see what you see. Yeah, it looks pretty bearish here, I think. What's next?
Okay, thank you to Boris for the BitMax token. Let's get into the next few. I know there's a few people patiently waiting for their request to come up. I assure you, it's coming up soon, guys. Next one is Jürgen Ernst in the live chat. Jürgen says, ever looked at Luna USDT? Looks really good.
We have looked at Luna before.
Well, last time we looked at it, didn't it look kind of bad?
I can't remember, but I remember it reminded me of a commercial, so that's how I know we looked at it. 873-210 Luna. Go ahead and give that phone call. A ring. You might buy a mattress.
Not super happy with this oversold crossover here on the Bitcoin pairing. But it's not as bad as some of the other ones are. It's not as clearly at resistance in the way some of the other coins are. Let's look at the USDT pairing. See if there's anything super interesting there. No, this is ugly. Where is our trend? Yeah, okay. So on the daily, we start with this trend, and then we briefly go slightly more parabolic. We just can't hold it. We retest. Really trapped under this entire area of resistance here. And interestingly, swing failure pattern of higher high and then lower high right now. We still need to close this. We need to close this swing down before we get this. But I don't think I'm interested in it, especially because the Bitcoin pairing wasn't like super interesting, right? It was just, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm just not necessarily seeing it right now. If we do end up closing a new high above this level, or even better, back above this more parabolic support, then that would be really interesting. But we don't currently have that. And,
right.
I mean, this is known resistance. We reversed here already, and now we're back at the same level. You don't want to buy there. You want to wait until we get a break, right?
Yep.
Yeah, don't buy resistance.
Jurgen does say he had a $1.30 target on the 4-hour, and hearing that is disappointing.
I mean, yeah, even look at the 4-hour too. Just really trap below this resistance right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it on my system. 4-hour.
Yeah, do you want to long this spot? No, I don't want to long this spot. I mean, if I could catch it like down here or something like that, then it's worth longing, because even if it doesn't break out, you can at least dump it and profit.
Yeah.
Up here, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Nothing. You'll be trapped.
All right. I see a bit of chatter in the live chat concerning whether or not to sit out the market. BNUSD, as Tyler Dukacek describes it in a live chat, a whole lot of chilling like a villain going on in this market. Yeah, I guess the smart money might be kind of hedged or waiting it out a little bit.
I'm like 60-70% in cash right now. I still have some alts that their positions are really great, and even though like these last couple days have been shaky, it's like so I give up some profits. Like, let me just wait and see, because those are strong positions, but I am not opening any longs today. Yesterday was a little bit more bullish. But, now here we are today at the beginning of the week. I'm just not really super interested in longing anything. Maybe that'll change later this week. Maybe in like 3 or 4 days, I'll be like, man, can you believe Monday looked bearish at all? What were we thinking?
Might be the case. I mean, we don't know.
All right.
Yeah, all we have to do is we have to break resistances on all these things. That's could be like 2 days. We just pump really hard. We break resistances on all these things. And then, boom, We'll know. We'll just be like, okay, alt season's on. It's go time.
And then you're not stuck with your capital losing money in something else that's sitting on the sideline. Then you have full opportunity to take advantage of it. Just let it prove it to you. Don't think that every time you feel like you're missing out is probably the time you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. I mean, let's say someone took a long up here at the top because they thought it was going to break resistance. Where do you put your stop, guys? Down here? Down here? Maybe your stop is down here. When you buy it at resistance, there's basically... And then we could just eke over and then break down. When you buy at resistance, there's just no good options available to you.
All right.
And I guarantee all of you are thinking to yourself right now that I've done that before, where you bought the top thinking it was going to go up because the chart looked great to you, and then all of a sudden it turned around and then you hung on for too long. Like, we've all done it.
Case, avoid doing it, guys. All right, that covers it for what we just do. It was Luna, or what did we just look at?
It was Luna, yeah.
It was Luna. Okay, so shout outs to the requesting of Luna. We got about 20 minutes left in the show, guys. We still got a few requests to go. If anybody who's dropping requests starting now, we might not be able to get to them all because we still have a few left and only 20 minutes. So let's power through these last few. This next one comes from West End Military Products. Cosmos, aka Adam Coin, please.
Okay.
Adam.
I gotta say, it's not super great looking. Let's
It looks like it's more headed for the stratosphere than the cosmos.
we're at resistance right now. So as you can see above us, support here, big support level, support here, resistance. Here we are back below it as resistance again. This is a nice local point of control. We've retested it. I'm just not interested in Atom here unless we make it back over this level, or if we came back down and retested down here, and then that's a decent pickup spot. But here, maybe it's a little clearer on the 3-day. So support here, resistance here. Support, 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 resistance, resistance. So Atom is at resistance here. Let's look at the USDT pairing. I don't know. Looks kind of flaccid to me.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are below this resistance level of $8.50. This resistance level right here. I thought we were bullish. Why didn't we stay above that level? Well, maybe we will. Maybe we'll recover above it on the 3-day or something like that. But until we're above these levels, not that interested in it, especially when you look at the Bitcoin pairing, which we looked at, and it's at resistance. So for that reason, I'm out.
All right, Shark Tank.
Yeah, I'm out.
That'd be pretty good. We need to do like a Shark Tank.
A crypto Shark Tank?
Crypto Shark Tank.
Yeah.
You know, where the
That'd
four
be
of us
pretty
will be
funny.
big crypto whales, and you come
Yeah.
and you shill us your shit coin, and then we either
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, we should do that. Like once a month, everybody bring your best chart. I'll look at it, and the best one we'll take as a group or something like that. It
That's
wouldn't
a
be a
pretty
bad
good
idea.
I think we're
But
really
I
into
think it'd
something
just be-
here.
I think it would just be me crapping on everybody's charts for.
Yeah, just be Alex talking
No.
shit about everyone's choices.
What'd you bring us this chart for? What's wrong with you? You call this a strong chart?
People
Drop
like
a
you.
20.
Alex
Drop a
is
give me
Mr.
20.
Alex is Mr. Wonderful. I'll be
No.
Robert Herjavec, and
I'll be the lady.
You make a Sex in the City reference?
No, did I? Who? Me? Him?
Yes. I
I
actually
must
don't.
have missed it. I must have missed it, guys. All right, let's keep moving along, shall we? Because we've only got about 15 minutes or so left in the chat. So let's keep going. This one's from B-Flow. He's asking for OST. What's OST?
Okay, operating system token. That's not what it means. I have no idea what OST stands for.
That's a good guess, but OST coin is OST Kurs Graphene. I've never heard of this thing. OST operates on Ethereum. Not a lot of information. OST.com. Making crypto.
It's a shit coin.
That's gotta be.
Yep. So all it's basically ever done is lose value against Bitcoin. Let's try and zoom in on it here. There is a chance that we have reversed in this spot. I do like the break of this trend. Ignore this right here. This is just too much. I'm not super excited about this. I guess I like that it broke down here and then recovered back over the support level. This is very accumulation-y. It's a little bit like a little bit like EOS Bitcoin. We were looking at it with that rounded bottom. That's a little reminiscent of this. I just want to see more strength on OST until I enter it. Why? You know, at this point, it's been so weak against Bitcoin for so long. I really want to see something, you know, with some meat on it before I enter this.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if there's a US dollar pairing that'll give us some sense. I guess this isn't awful. Let's see, weekly resistance is here-ish. Support. any way you look at it, I don't think there's really anything for us to do here. We're kind of right in the middle of the trading range. It could go either way. Maybe I like this rounded bottom here on the US dollar pairing, actually.
OST, that is an odd one, so D-flow, I don't know where you dragged this thing out of, but I mean, it is above the daily. I guess there is something forming, but spend a lot of time going sideways there, so
I will give it this. It appears to have broken out of its downtrend.
Yep.
I don't know if it's necessarily time to buy it yet, but on both the Bitcoin pairing and the USD pairing, it appears to have broken the downtrend. So I don't know what the future holds for it, but maybe at least now it will stop sucking so much to own some.
Alright, well, let's keep an eye on OST. You know, I can see after taking a closer look something to it, but I'm still I'm a little trepidatious on OST. Alright, let's get into the next one, guys. I know you've been waiting a while for this one. This one's from Tamir 7 VIP. AAVE review, please. Yes, let's look at AAVE. AAVE's a big one. It's definitely no OST, that's for sure.
So essentially, AAVE is much like DeFi perp and Uni token. It did make that new high. So AAVE USDT, we looking at this? Making that new high. What was the other thing? I was just talking about it. Oh, and Uni. Making that new high. So I think these are really the coins to keep your eyes on. They've been so strong. Let's look at the AAVE Bitcoin pairing. I mean, we're above resistance, right? So there's really not much for me to itch about in this case. We're here, we're above resistance. We seem to be holding it today. As long as we can hold it, then I think it's going to remain really bullish. Yeah, right now there's nothing to do. We actually have sell signals, although I don't know if that's necessarily like a signal that I would sell into. It's just telling us, just wait. We'll probably pull back a little bit on AAVE, and in that case, we'll be able to like sneak an entry, possibly. As far as the USD pairing, it's just like kind of gone for right now. Yeah. Okay.
That wraps up Alex's thoughts on AAVE. Shoutouts to Tamir7 for that one. We'll keep our eye on AAVE. Indeed, one of the hottest coins, one of the best performers, it seems, of the last few months that we've been following it.
AAVE's a hot little potato right now.
AAVE's pretty solid. Alright, let's get into the next few, guys. We've only got a few minutes left in the show, and I sure want to knock out these last few requests.
Man, it's coming down.
This one's from SJ, who's also a channel supporter, so shoutouts to SJ. Hey guys, thanks for the analysis as always. Can you please look at the RLC USDT pairing, please?
RLC.
Looks pretty strong here. Right now, as per a lot of the coins, there's not that much for us to do. We're kind of hanging out at resistance right now, or at least we're sidling up to it. Most likely we'll still make a little bit more gains towards 160, 175. Everything looks good and strong on the weekly. I would say just keep holding it, man. Yep, I would just keep holding it. This is not really a place to look to be entering. If we broke the high of like, $175, $2, then that would be a place where you could look to enter. Otherwise, I would look for some sort of pullback, some sort of maybe towards the trend or below the trend.
Potatoes and grave. I like that.
Yeah, potatoes and gravy, indeed.
What's
funny.
next? I really want to wrap this up on time. So.
Absolutely. Okay, in that case, we are running relatively low on time, guys. There's only a few more we can do. In fact, we're kind of at our cutoff, guys. I've been saving this one to kind of the end. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how much I can tell you.
AMC?
No, actually, well, yes, IMC as well. But this question from Lon Legato: I heard Texas has retaken custody of their gold reserves from the Fed. Any info regarding that? You know what, dude? I did a quick news scan. I didn't find anything. If you got a link for me, Ron Legato, something to explore, I can certainly bring it up on tomorrow's show. I can do a little more digging if that's what you want. But I really haven't found anything on this topic. So
why don't you bring us information on this?
Well,
you know about it.
Clearly,
I haven't heard anything.
He's tipping us off, so I'm gonna look a little closer. Same thing to anybody in the audience. If you guys heard anything about Texas and the gold reserve being moved out of the Fed, do let us know. That sounds kind of interesting. Texas, home of the insurrection. Maybe I'm gonna get we're gonna get demonetized for mentioning that keyword there. But yes, I'm moving to Texas, guys. I don't know if you heard. I already have my cowboy hat and my F-150. And
I'm moving to Joe Rogan's Comedy Ranch.
My rack is still empty, but once I get down there, guys, I assure you I will be loading up. So stand down and stand by.
I say there's nothing due on AMC right now. If you didn't buy down here, then buying up here where all this resistance is doesn't make a lot of sense. I would wait for some kind of breakout.
Need more evidence. Bitcoin showing.
I mean, it's true that they're not going to go bankrupt, and that is great, but that doesn't mean that everybody's going to start going to movie theaters anytime soon, you know?
Right.
They coming up with some neat new technology, how to stream movies to the home, because that's inevitable. Like, how long until
industries like these are going to have to adapt, you know?
I guess it's because, a big part of it is piracy, right? Like, they make most of their money airing it in movie theaters, but at this point, maybe if that's not to be, then you just accept it and release it to the online thing. And honestly, a lot of people are paying for their online streaming. I don't think a lot of people are watching from home. Most people are not pirating. They have their Netflix, they have their Hulu, and whatever else you guys stream TV with, right? So I still think that these, maybe not the movie theater chains, but the studios could still maybe make some money and release to online streaming now. Like, maybe we got to cut out this movie theater formula where they release, like, that would be a thing of the past, guys, right?
I think there'll be a paradigm shift in the way that we do it, and then maybe some of these industries come back just for the sense of that idea of going to watch a movie with your family or something like that, more than just how money drives it. I really think that they're going to have to adapt in the sense that streaming, I think, is pretty much here to stay, to where they're going to have to figure out a different angle to make it successful.
What a very interesting end to our show.
It is. I would love to get to one of these last ones, like BZRX that just came through the line, or Doggy or ZRX, but we really don't think that today, guys. Alex wants to wrap.
I have errands and stuff I need to run, guys.
He's got milk to clean up, guys.
Unless Alex, unless you object to maybe Jason taking over for the last few minutes. Unless Jason, what do you think? Do you want to run the show for an extra 10 minutes and get through these requests? And what does our audience think? Well,
how many do we have?
We have a small handful. We got Litecoin. We have Doggy. I
mean, if you want to switch over to my screen, I can do that. That's not a problem.
Go ahead.
All right.
I wish you guys all the best.
Much love. Thank you to Alex. Thank you so much for taking us through the charts. I am going to run into 10 minutes of overtime with Jason, though, so no hard feelings to Alex. He does have things to do, including he's probably got to detail the stove after that milk disaster. So I will let Alex do his thing, and
all right.
We will
trade safely, everybody.
Happy Monday, Alex. Thanks for today's TA.
Yep.
And If you like today's TA, be sure to like and subscribe. Smash that like button, physically assault it, whatever you like.
And
Show that like button who is boss.
And if you want to follow any of Alex's trades or anything like that, be sure to join Premium. His signals, his account management is all there for you guys to absorb. So check out premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. You can have first dibs on anything Alex is thinking about or posting, or any signals, anything like that, or market analysis, and more, courtesy of Alex, head of trading here at Cracking Crypto right now. Or lead analyst. Lead analyst would probably be more appropriate, but let's just call him the head of trading for now. All right.
All right. Well, thank you all again.
All right. Much love to Alex. And the rest of you guys are in for a treat. We are going to jump over to Jason's
just let me know.
stream. Yep, you are on the screen now. And we're going to get Jason to knock out the last few requests, guys. This isn't an excuse to dump a bunch more requests in, because we're just going to get what we have on the list out of the way, and then we're going to move to wrap. Don't want to run this all day.
And you're going to see probably a difference between the way Alex looks at things and the way I look at things, especially my system utilizes a much more sensitive baselines and stuff like that, but we usually pretty much agree.
All right,
so,
indeed.
It's just to show you it can be done many different ways. Do you have my screen up yet?
I do have you up, and I'm gonna pull up the.
I know you said Doge was one that you wanted, so I already have Doge up.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with Doge. Let me just figure out who requested Doge. Doge came from. Where was it? It was. No, it wasn't there either. Okay, Josh Bachelor asking Doge. So let's take a look at that.
So I'm looking at Doge here. The last signal that you did get that you could have taken on this system would have been a continuation long here on the 21st. The way that it's shaping up right now, you would have already had an early exit signal on this thing, so you probably would have gotten relatively either out at break even or at a slight loss. Right now it is looking actually more bearish than anything. You're getting the turnover on minks here on the daily. This would not be something I would be looking to long for sure. If anything, you're waiting for confirmation for a short signal, but as for now, I wouldn't touch it. Doge USDT, and I'm going to assume the same thing for Doge USDT. Yeah, it's actually lower. These are not clear short signals. This actually would have been a good short signal that you would have probably exited, or you actually would have, considering. Let's just throw this short real quick. Boom, here for short signal. Yeah, you would still be sitting in that, if not have already got out on this long signal, so pretty quickly reversed on you, early exit. It's the same as BTC, the BTC pairing. This looks really weak to me. I wouldn't look to touch Doge long right now, and you just haven't quite got a good enough short signal to take either, so there's nothing to do with Doge.
All right, the next one was ZRX as well for Josh Bachelor, and then we'll get to the last few. And I'm going to fix one quick element on screen. There we go.
Well, interestingly enough, on ZRX, I do like this. There's a lot of there's not very much white noise in this, meaning that the retracements are very well oscillating and covering up all of the white space here. This technically could have been a long signal, but it's pretty weak in the sense that WADA is just barely there, and it's right in the middle of a bunch of bearish activity. So me personally, I wouldn't be looking at this to take it as a trade. If you did, you could probably look at taking it with a little bit less risk, just considering how much further it's come down. If you closed above the baseline here, this wouldn't be the silliest trade in the world, and you're actually getting a little bit better of an entry here. But I would simply look at a stop loss around 44.3, and then you could take this looking for a TP around 64, about 64 cents here. But looking at the way that the rest of the market is shaping up, this doesn't look very strong to me, and this would probably get eliminated as one of my positions, considering I would believe that I'm going to find a few other positions that look stronger than this. But it wouldn't be silly to take a look at this at daily close to see if you still closed above the 13, which is sitting around 52 cents. At that time, I would assess, and then we could actually look at whether it's good enough to take a position or not. But this crossover, you're beginning to cross over on time transformation, and Minx is starting to curl down. Not necessarily meaning anything right now, but leading me to believe that the next daily candle will probably be more downside.
Let's get into the next one. In that case, I see people asking me here. Daniel asked, what part of Texas are you moving to? Skokie Cat live chat says Odessa is the best city in Texas. Obviously. All right. Well, I see people's bigging up Texas. Where am I going? I'm actually just kind of kidding around, guys. I would love to move probably down there, especially after.
They probably won't even let you in the U.S., huh?
They probably won't. No, I am not probably worthy right now in the US, but no, I seen the Texas property you guys got down there, and what you can get for $250,000 blows my mind. So Texas is the place to go. I'm willing to like I said, I got the truck and the hat ready to go. I'm sure I would be a great
I'm pretty sure that's all you need.
things, but I got my AC my HVAC license, guys, so I'm ready to come down there and keep the AC running and keeping everybody cool.
I actually do have mine.
I'm pretty handy with the AC, and Lord knows that's the one thing
I was an HVAC technician for 8 years.
In fact, I'm gonna have to go down there, make sure the AC is working good in the house, and then I finally move in, because I imagine it gets pretty toasty down there. All right, enough messing around. I've got the next request lined up. This one is for Tamir Litecoin. How's it looking?
Don't actually go to Odessa. It's awful.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what someone say.
I will have to certainly talk to the Texas homies to figure out where to go. But yes.
So currently we are in a LTC long for Bitcoin here. We entered right here. This was a good full signal. Water was there, rising explosion level, crossing over zero with the long signal on Minx as well. Everything is firing full speed ahead. We've wicked up a couple times, but just haven't quite hit that TP. This is where our first TP is sitting, right at 0.004565. We just barely didn't get there, but as you see, we never really closed below the baseline on the 13. So that today may be an early exit signal depending on how we close. I just have to wait until close to actually look at that. It would be nice if we could pick up and hit this TP first, but sometimes that just isn't the case. So this is a great example of just letting your systems be your system. It hasn't quite kicked us out yet, but today it might. But you just don't worry about that. You just check it day to day. Don't let lower time frames really weigh you down, in the sense of, like, it's always important to zoom out, especially if you're using the system on the daily. Trade it on the daily. Wait till candle close and then assess. Right now we're hanging out right around entry, so it wouldn't hurt us too much to have to exit this, because right now I believe we're at a slight gain because we're right above entry at this point. So I'm still going to be in LTC here. I still think it's an okay position to be in, but the members of course will know as soon as we exit this, if we do exit it today. I don't like that rejection wick so far, but we just have to see how the day ends.
All right, guys, let's keep it rolling. We got a few left to go, including, let me see here. Okay, so Bird, we did look at, he said, I sold half of my long-term NEO from sub $15, looking to rebuy at 18. What are your thoughts? We did look at NEO a little earlier.
We did NEO. Yep.
So I hope that covered it, because if not, we'll have to re-engage with NEO tomorrow. In the meantime, let's do this one for Mr. Ether. ENJ, yeah, I might have missed it a little earlier. Mr. Ether, thank you for the ENJ reminder.
ENJ. Well, look at that. What a beauty, Clark. This is what I love about Minx right here. Gives you that take profit long signal right here at the very top, man. And time transformation would be agreeing today. You're also seeing diminishing momentum as well as volume. I think that this is beginning to look weak. You should be exiting it if you were in a position. This absolutely has a chance to pop back up here and continue on, but that's not your trade right now. You should be protecting your capital, getting out when your oscillators let you know, and then let it prove to you again that this is something worth taking. But if you look at Minx coupled with time transformation and all the evidence you're getting out of the volume and momentum, it would be a better situation to be on the side, waiting for a better entry on it. I wouldn't short it here either because you could get burned, but this tells me that you should be out of ENJ waiting for its next decision. I do like the little shelf of support it's building here. So that's why I don't really want to count out the fact that ENJ could just continue here. It's been a real outlier in the market lately, and I think that it has a lot of potential here. But looking at the oscillators and the indicators, this would tell me that you should likely be out of it right now, waiting for a pullback.
All right, nicely done on the ENJ. Let's knock out the last few before we run out of time. Here we go. Next one is all right, so Tamir VIP asked, hey Jack, what coins are actually favored for short to midterm in this live stream? Can you recap the leading ones, please? I guess
that
Alex,
changes day to day.
Alex is gone, I guess, so I can't really ask him, but Jason,
he would probably say DeFi.
There's a few DeFi ones that were outliers in the general trend. You know what, Tamir, that is a perfect question to have answered when you join the premium group, because for one thing, we're kind of we generally trade on a daily basis. And so our trades, our final thoughts on what coins to go in on, we kind of finalize that decision at the end of the daily candle, so about 3 to 4 hours from now.
So like right now, I could do a market sweep for my signals right now, but I tend to not like to do that because a lot can change in the next 4 hours. And usually when you look at them early, it almost makes you want to kind of FOMO in early, like, well, if I'm getting a signal now, maybe I can get a better entry. And what I've found, it's the exact opposite. The more I wait till close and enter at close, I tend to actually get better prices than if I'm trying to front run it. So it just gets easier to do it that way. Then at daily close, 40 to 30 minutes before close, I just do a big sweep, and then I see everything that I want to take, and then I just start knocking them out. The ones with the weaker signals, the ones with weaker water, the ones with that rising explosion level, then usually I can come down to maybe 2-3 signals a day. And then you just rinse and repeat every single day. All right. Don't really worry about the day-to-day intercandle data.
Yeah, well put. But yes, if you do want the inside track on our analyst thoughts and what coins to really go in on, your best summary is going to be had by joining the premium.cryptocurrency.com. Doing big things over there at Premium. Let's get into the last few requests, shall we? Let me see what's happening in the live chat as well. I forgot to probably shout out David Rice earlier. He showed up a little late today, but he did shout us out when he got in here. So much love to David Rice, a mega regular. That's appreciated to have around. Ron Legato says, you do well in Texas there, Jack. My brother loves it. He's outside Houston. Skokie Cat says, come to Arizona. Just saying. Yeah, you know what? Arizona is also on my short list. I've heard really good things about Arizona in terms of like property prices and opportunity. It seems like everybody's flooding out of California, and places like Arizona and Texas are the go-tos. That does tell you something. Also makes me worry for the future of states like Arizona and Texas. All these Cali people going to ruin one state and move to the next. Where is that going to leave us? But with any luck, they'll bring me in, and I will offset the damage that even 10 left-wingers will do that state. All right. Getting into the next request. Do you have time for BZRX? Yes, we did BZRX. Mr. Ryan O'Malley, Crypto Bulls.
I'm looking at BZRX right now real quick, and I believe I remember what Alex said, but this is coming right up on resistance, man. I would not be looking to take any kind of position here. You already missed the movement. And this is important to realize too, that sometimes you just miss the movements. You have to find these things when sometimes they present themselves very well cheaply with your oscillators. In this situation right here, you got this giant continuation candle But me personally, this is way too much of a move to look at taking a full risk position on. You could look to the baseline bounce, but you still probably wouldn't have gotten it here with this. This actually didn't reach down too far, and you would have missed it. I mean, that's okay. So right now you're at resistance, so this doesn't make any sense to be looking at taking a position at it. Let it pull back, and if it's going to continue going up, let it continue go up. It will find a spot. It will find a fair value. Right now is not the time to touch this.
All right. Let's get into this next one. Daniel asked us to do at least one of these, but I feel bad because it took so long to get to them. And Daniel is a channel supporter, so let's see if we can do more than just one of these requests. But he asked for Band, Crow, MATIC, and Nano. Any of those? You maybe scan through all four and stop on one you think looks juicy?
I can do them. Yeah, I can do them pretty quick here. And again, guys, I'm different than Alex. We trade differently. This is just how my brain processes these things. So, bear with me if it's not the same as Alex's. But looking at this signal right here, one could have looked to take this long position, but like I said before, I do like that there's a higher high. But this is way too overextended to look to take a full risk position. But you do find yourself here now with enough momentum. You do have, I pretended to be this way. I would have already been in this position, but technically I'm not because this would have been too high. But you could look, if you're really looking to take a position here, Band wouldn't be the worst decision to put you could take a full risk position here with a stop at 0.00024,872, and that's still a pretty good risk to reward position. I'm not going to say that it's going to work out for you because again, we are coming up on resistance, but I actually could see us coming all the way up to tap these highs right here. But as for it right now, I think you're going to find something better. Band, I think you should wait on. You might see it back down here because this has not been tested, so that would be what I would be looking for as well.
All right, Crow USD. Quick thoughts on that.
Okay. Well, this looks pretty bad, to be honest with you. And I do like this wick down here. This would have been a full... Actually, nope, never mind, sorry. WADA did not give you full confirmation, but I could still see you waiting for... This is a swing failure, in my opinion. You might see... You could see it pull back up here on a little retracement, but I think that you're more likely to see more downside, at least to retest these levels. So, yep, nothing to do here with Crow USDT. If anything, you're probably more looking for short positions than anything.
Beautiful. Okay, next one is going to be MATIC for him. Let's do a quick look at MATIC. Try to get the last few out of the way.
Okay. You know what? This doesn't look like the worst chart, but right here is a dead giveaway that I wouldn't want to be touching it. You just have no momentum coming in on this long signal. You just can't take this. Even if it does work out, over time you're going to end up getting burned. It does appear to be, boom, swing failure, another swing failure if you do not get a higher high here, which closes in about 4 hours. So, nope. This just would be nothing. You just need to wait for a better signal. MATIC looks like it's coming up on resistance, likely to be a swing failure pattern. Come down, test this shelf. So what's next?
All right, final one is Nano USD. Thank you, Daniel, for supporting the channel. We're gonna have to take care of you and do all 4 of these today, so thank you again.
Same situation here, almost exact same situation with Nano. You got the long signal above the oscillator on the 13, but momentum is just not there. You can't take this trade. Exact same story. This has not been tested, so it likely will see a test of these ranges. See that shelf that's been built historically. I believe that you're going to get a nice test of that. But as for what we're looking for in getting a great edge in a trading position, this is not giving you the information that you would want to see to take a full risk position, even to take a position at all. So stay away from Nano as well.
All right, right on. Stay away from Nano. Not much more to be said there. Thank you to Daniel for the requests. Glad we could do them. Thank you to Jason.
You guys don't want to be in a lot of different things if this market does decide to take a turn, guys, because historically, if you're in a bunch of different alts and everything just starts going to shit, you're going to find out that you're going to lose money a lot quicker than you think you are. And you might want to have that capital on the side to buy up that Bitcoin dip.
All right, there you have it. Shout outs to Daniel. Yes, thanks again, Daniel. Much love. Thank you for that. All right, we have only a couple left, and thank God, because we got to move to wrap shortly. I did see Skokie Cat mention Phoenix has gotten a lot more expensive in the last even 5 years. Yeah, I've heard that Phoenix definitely is one of the hottest real estate markets in the U.S. in terms of growth over the last few years. Maybe surrounding area, and like someone else mentioned, who was it? Ron Legato. Someone said, oh yeah, Ron Legato. I would stay away from big cities. Protesters are wingnuts around here. Yeah. You're talking my language, brother. Indeed, I'm not looking for the big city life. If I'm moving down to Texas, guys, I'm gonna embrace the lifestyle, and I'm gonna be a legit rancher on my property.
Are you gonna have an actual bull?
You mean the
like an animal, like a bull?
Oh, a bull, yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess.
Maybe
I mean, I don't know how farms operate, guys. I'm a noob, so you tell me. Oh, bulls and bears. But no, I mean, I guess I need a bull to go with the cows, or is that roosters with chickens? I don't know, guys. That I will figure out once I am down there. Daniel says thanks, guys. For sure. But you know the thing for Phoenix, I heard that maybe I shouldn't be mentioning this. This is gonna get me banned. But Bill Gates is developing some kind of mega city in and around Phoenix. He's got like a huge parcel of land right outside Phoenix, and so the future mega city project is coming to the Phoenix area. Apparently Bill Gates has got aspirations of... Alright, I'm not going to say anymore. Let's just leave it at that.
You're going to get yourself in trouble, bud.
Yes, indeed. Can't mention some of these things on YouTube anymore.
This is a pretty interesting signal on 1 inch that I'm looking at right here. This is one that it would be way too far for me to take a position, but one that you could likely look to see for that baseline bounce to come back down. You might float up here and then tag this current support level down here. Could sell off completely through, but once you have that order down here, your stop loss is still at $1.90, so it might be a good opportunity to try to snag a good movement on 1 inch. It does look impressive here that it's holding above its current there's not as much data here, but we've seen these type of things run in the future, in the past, so this is something that you should be looking at.
Yeah, 1
possibly
inch.
Possibly placing an order around like $2.12. I mean, that wouldn't be the dumbest thing in the world. Then if it really sells India, then you can just get out.
I guess I should have stayed in 1 inch.
I bought it when you bought it, bud.
I know, and I got out, man. I couldn't. My trade thesis was a weekend long and didn't work out. I got out, and but here's 1 inch. Should have known it'd be right back, and then some. It did.
Yeah, we'll see. It's interesting.
It is. We're in the middle of a bull cycle, guys. So maybe just buy and hold, and eventually your trade will go with you. But you know, I set targets. I get in and out. I try not to hold things if they go against me. But that's just how it goes. Blockchain Gains posts a series of petting zoo emojis. All of the above. Yes, I'm gonna need a bull, a cow, a donkey, a rooster, a turkey, a rabbit, a horse, and a pig. All of the above.
Jab turkey.
Boy, I'm gonna need more Bitcoin if I'm gonna afford all that livestock, homie. But okay, enough messing around, guys. Let's get the last one or two knocked out. So this last one is Jonah loved the show. Rigel token, actually. Rigel token may be worth.
It's a pretty bearish chart, guys, on the hourly for Bitcoin. This is a good short signal that's almost played out already, but we might get some positive appreciation here. But the way that these wicks are absorbing price right now, there's a likelihood that we could just sell off here. But I'll be interested to see how it turns out. What did you say, Regal?
It's called Rigel Finance. RIGEL. Let me take a look. It looks like it's a ChartX coin, my friend.
Pharmaceutical?
Nope, it's a coin, and it's on ChartX. You got ChartX?
I do.
ChartX, and we'll move to wrap shortly, guys.
Bring her up. Okay. So what was it?
RIGL.
RIGL, that's it?
Rigel.
Not finding it on
Coming up.
ChartX.
Uh,
I found a... L? I see
the contract
Digital
address.
Pharmaceuticals, but I don't see...
Are you in chart? Yeah, you are in ChartX. Okay. Hold on. Paste this address into the... see here. Paste it into the live chat here. See if you paste, or do you want me to DM it to you, or do you have access to the live chat?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, take that one. Try to drop that address into ChartX. Does anything come up?
Nope.
Weird. All right. Unfortunately, Jonah, I'd love to look at Rigel, but for some reason we can't bring it up.
Unless it's the pharmaceutical company.
Maybe. I don't think so, though. It's Rigel Finance, I think is what they'd be referring to. Another .finance DeFi token that is also doing things, so I can see why they want us to look at Rigel Finance.
So you're seeing it? I can't.
I see it on CoinMarketCap, but I haven't pulled up any of my charting software. I'd have to open up ChartX, and I do kind of want to move to Wrap, but let me just see what I can find.
Could it be RIGEL?
Yeah, isn't that what I said?
No, you said RIGL.
I thought I said EL, but yes.
But the contract number should have pulled it up.
You'd think so, but it's RIGEL, by the way, and it ends in 2AD on there. So yeah, it's Rigel Finance, $222 right now.
$228?
Yeah, you look like you're on it.
$228. Well, I mean, looking at this thing on the 4-hour, that's one thing I don't like about ChartX in the sense that it doesn't let me keep all of my regular indicators up. But that's just too much volume in one candle, man. It would not be a good idea. In today's candle, it's gone from, what's the low? $84 to $232. Like, you've missed the boat here. Like, even if it does continue, you're putting yourself at a lot of risk, and it hasn't even made a new high yet. So let it make its new high, let it pull back, let it gain support, then look at this again. This is just too much movement in one day.
Yeah, new token looks like it's only been around for less than 2 weeks, and it's up about 180% on the day. So it's super hot, super fresh, guys. This is something we're not going to partake in this soon, but
you got to pick your battles, guys. And this is fighting an uphill battle.
If you heard it here first, guys, this is Rigel token, something to maybe keep your eyes on. Let me just take a quick look at its stats. What is its market cap currently? Whoa, it's less than $1 million, guys. This is, of course, a fairly new token. This is a penny stock of the game. That's why it can be up about 180% out of the blue, just like that. So Rigel is currently pumping. Buyer beware, guys. Approach this one with caution. But what can there be said? It's got $1 million market cap, guys. So if you can be a whale for low price of, well, I don't know what would qualify as a whale in the $1 million market cap, but 10 grand would get you up there. 100 grand would move the market a lot. That's so
10%, man. That would move the market 10%.
Yeah. So you heard it here, guys. Rigel token. Not sure what to make of it, but okay, guys, here we go. This is the final one, and I do appreciate everybody who stood by this long, and thank you to Jason for going into overtime, and sorry to Alex if we're doing this without you, but this is the final one, and it's JG, one of our channel supporters, says, guys, IDEX, you looked at it last week, and I bought a little, and it's up 50%, so thank you for that. Yeah, okay, so somebody took one of our tips. I don't know if it was just us bullshitting on the stream about it, or if it was a signal from the group. But yes, JG, congrats, dude. 50% move is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this one, just nailed it. And this is what I'm talking about. When you look for a signal that has all of the strengths, like when this signal came off on the 21st, great long signal here, good momentum, rising explosion level, which means that the Bollinger Bands are starting to separate, which means that there's likely to be volatility that comes in. You do get some throwback here on this candle, but it did not close below and there's no exit signal there, so you wait, and then boom, 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 you've probably smoked all 3 take profits on that. Let's see here. So boom, yep, you've already crushed all 3. So then you would be looking at, okay, we got a continuation long here, but it's pretty far away from the baseline. So if you're going to look for a continuation, you might as well place it around the baseline. And look at that, boom, baseline bounce, boom, boom. You just hit TP1 on this continuation long, and if you entered here, it'd be even better. So right now, re-entry would have been, I mean, if you did decide to take it around here, if you're in it right now, make sure that you've taken some profit. I mean, you should have taken profit from this pump and then let it come back down, let it give you a new signal. This one, like I said, too overextended, wouldn't have taken it. But looking at it over the course of a couple of days, you'd have been like, well, it is holding here. And then all of a sudden, and that's just depending on the trader, if you buy pullbacks or not, this could have been an opportunity for you. But if you're in it right now, you're sitting pretty. Make sure that you've taken some profit and move that stop loss to break even wherever it happens to be. Today it does look a little overextended the same way that you got this one, but I do like the fact that you've made a higher high than this, so this likely could continue. With the way that this is, if you like it, you could take this at half risk at close if it closes positive and still a continuation long. But other than that, I wouldn't. If you're not in it, I wouldn't be touching it. But yeah, since we are so high above the 13 here, I would reduce my risk at least to from 1% to about 0.5. At least take away 50% of the risk. But if you took it, I mean, you're probably super happy, man. It's doing well.
Yeah, knocked the IDEX out of the park. So congrats to JG. I was gonna move to wrap, but blockchain gains kind of making me feel bad. I forgot to do his request, and that's BNGO, which is a traditional stock. That's BioNano. Okay, let's take a quick look at BNGO, ticker symbol BNGO.
BNGO. I mean, honestly, it kind of looks a lot like the same chart we just looked at. I mean, a lot better momentum coming in here. It looks a lot like the stock chart that IDEX that we just looked at. It's the exact same situation. You're a little bit far from the baseline here, but I do like that you're making the higher high here. And let's look at it completely historically. Yeah, and you're making new all-time highs as well. So looking at where old all-time highs are, let's just look at this shelf. Let's throw a line on and just see if it happens to line up with anything that we can see on lower time frames. So like right here, that line that I just put, you're like, with this being so overextended here, I think what's likely to happen is we get this continuation long, but then we get throwback on the signal back down to a baseline bounce. So I think that a window to look at picking this up in would be from about the 824 to the 1050 range. I think that would be a great baseline pullback for continuation, and it would give you a better entry should things go against you. And if you take it here, I would suggest you take it at half risk, because you're likely to see that throwback, and then if it doesn't happen to become throwback and it's just a solid rejection, you're going to have a lot more time and a lot less of a loss if you entered waiting on the baseline pullback instead of getting excited and just going for it. But this does look good for continuation, to be honest with you. I just don't like how far it is away from the baseline. And the whole point of doing this is to pick your moments, not to buy every chart.
Plus, it's at all-time highs, entering price discovery as blockchain gains.
And these things can run, man. I mean,
yep. All right. Well, congrats to anybody who took BNGO, such as blockchain gains. Looking good there. Some of these biomed stocks are big winners right now. All right, guys. Ryan O'Malley in the live chat. BZRX he can't find. I'm pretty sure we did BZRX, and we did. Yeah, we did. The reason why you might not find it at a timestamp is because until the show ends, the time bar is not accurate. It's in minus mode from a live stream. So if you just scroll back to like when your seek bar says 102, it's likely not going to be correct. What you have to do if you're watching live right now, you got to scroll back about an hour and a half With that said, if the show is over and you refresh the stream, you'll see the timestamps and you'll be able to find it easier that way. So Ryan O'Malley, stand by, wait for after the stream, and I will certainly update it with the timestamps. You'll be able to find BZRX much easier that way. Okay guys, it's been a great show. Gone an extra half an hour just for the loyal audience on a Monday. Thank you to everybody who stuck it out with us today. We are gonna have to make a exit, move for the doors right now. Not much else to be said though. And Jason, anything you want to conclude with before we move to wrap?
Well, I mean, just looking down the lower time frame, see like the 4 hour here, it does appear that we're getting turns on all of our oscillators. Momentum is starting to wane. Bearish volume is starting to pick up here. I really do think that we're setting ourselves up for another test of the lows. A break of those lows, I still think it wouldn't be crazy to see us even fill that CME gap. That's what I have marked down here. My 75% of my hedge is currently at a take profit of 24,610, just to nicely fill that CME gap. I think you can see that through here. Future, I think I still have that marked out. Yep, see this little gap here. I'm still waiting for a fill of that. I really do think that we're going to end up getting this. Looks very swing failure to me. Whether we keep building and press to the upside is just something that we have to wait on, but I do believe that Alex is correct in the assumption that our best bet here is to either be sitting on our hands or just waiting in our hedge.
Yep. The boys are certainly a bit on the bear side. Like Jason here wants to revisit.
It's not really something that we're saying like, oh, I'm bearish or bullish just based off of like the charts and stuff. It's just looking at the fundamentals of what we're seeing. It would make a lot more sense to me that we would see lower lows before we see higher highs. And
Indeed.
That's what our job is, right? We're speculators. We need to figure out what is the best option. We don't actually bet on which way we're going until we take a position. But at the same time, we could blow up, hit a TP, and then reverse. Like it doesn't actually mean that we're bearish or bullish in some senses.
Indeed. In fact, I should probably restate that. You guys are more neutral with a slight bearish leaning. Overall, obviously, we're still very much bullish. We're
sideways right now, guys.
We're still expecting big things to happen in 2021. But at the moment,
it is only January 25th, so
yep.
Just calm down. We could have a few weeks of bearishness. It'll be fine.
Yep, some of us are still fingers crossed, looking to fill those gaps in the 20s and even as low as just under 20K. So who knows? We might even fill the gap around $9,700. But
it's important as a trader that you do envision every real possibility, because that is a real possibility that we just get some crazy news that all of a sudden just tanks the markets, like, oh my god, it's going to zero, blah blah blah, a big sell off, and then everyone who's scared sells off, and then people like me are picking up the pieces at $9,000.
Yep, don't forget what happened last March, guys. Anything is possible. People thought we'd never
still proud of that buy
again.
At 38.15.
Beautiful. And some of us, so that's not to discount that we could have a similar meltdown this year that fills that gap at 9,700. Unbelievable as it is, guys. This is why I always advise people.
Well, I mean, look at our highs. So what was the highest high that Bitcoin did make? It was like 43,000, something like that.
Yeah, just like around.
An 80% retracement from that would be like 7,500. Why would that be so crazy?
Just because nobody wants to think that 42 was the top.
But here's the thing: nobody wants to think it, but it's a wave algorithm, man. These things are just wave functions.
But again, I don't want to
That's
think
the way
that
I think
42 is
about
a top, but it's certainly looking like that more and more every day that goes by. But
depends
in the
on your time frame, because in the next 2 years, I guarantee we hit higher than that.
Oh yeah, I mean the next 12 months, I imagine it's going to happen. But in the meantime, guys, it's been a great show. Thank you to everybody who joined us today. It's been a Monday breaking Bitcoin market update, and we will be back for Tuesday. You know how we do it every day, Monday through Friday, market updates every day, because we day trade in here. We got some of the best analysts and the best signals and the best
trying our best
charting in the game, guys. I'm sure if you're still watching the show after 2.5 hours, the 60+ people still watching, you guys know that. So we love you, we appreciate you very much. Thank you again for joining us this Monday. We'll be back tomorrow. Time to get out. Peace.
See you guys tomorrow. Trade safely. Remember, no trade is still a trade.
Good advice. Cheers, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.